Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Hope you're having yourselves a fantastic morning this morning, and I am so proud to be here with you around the country and the world. As you know, you're watching and listening on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /Wake Up Call DT. You're on our Podbean internet streaming radio feed as well on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. And once this feed sends out this information, it goes worldwide to all these feeds go worldwide, but the Podbean feed, once we send things off to Podbean, you will also see our updated library on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Make sure to click subscribe while you're there. We have an awesome show set up for you inside of the Heritage Hill Studios today. Heritage Hill coming to you on 3149 Sweet Road in Pompey, New York, out in the country at their brew house. Fantastic views. Looks like you walked right into a painting. And they have their newest location, our CNS North Stars headquarters, and that is at Heritage Hill North on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse, New York, right at Sweetheart Corners, right by the airport, and by so many pieces of our community, including, but not limited to, Liverpool, Beeville, Clay, Cicero, Mattydale, just close proximity to so many different areas right there at 628 South Main Street at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse for Heritage Hill North. Our show today inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We're going to start things off as we always do on a Wednesday, Dolphin Time, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Le Moyne College Dolphins. Jaro Zawislan, the head coach of the Le Moyne Dolphins women's soccer team, is going to be joining me here for an all-new special. I'm very proud to be airing this special here for us this morning on the eve of their first game. Yes, folks, the New York State Fair hasn't started yet, and we're already back to sports in college in Central New York, as Jaro Zawislan's team, the Dolphins women's soccer team, will have their first game of the season this Thursday, August 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Ted Grant Field, on the pitch, as we like to call it. And that game is going to be up against the University of Maine, who made it into the postseason nationally last year. So very excited about this matchup, excited to start the season, and very pumped that I have the opportunity not only to speak with Jaro again, but to speak with Jaro on the eve of their first game of the season and as well as their home opener. So we got plenty of talk coming up with Jaro here from Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Le Moyne, and this feature on the Le Moyne Dolphins women's soccer team. Then coming up after that from around 9:45 throughout the rest of the show, the American Athletic Conference football preview continues. My preview of the entire conference of the American Athletic, which I've been doing for over a decade. We have new opportunities to hear today with the Temple Owls, the FAU Owls, the ECU Pirates, and the UTSA Roadrunners. So a lot of great stuff coming up here as I have the opportunity to sit down with student athletes representing each of these four schools as we head toward the 2024-25 football season. So a lot of great stuff coming up here, a lot of wonderful people to share with you, and we will start that with Jaro in Dolphin Dive right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from the Heritage Hill Studios. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the taste of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com. Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, coming off of that fast break here inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Heritage Hill on 3149 Suite Road in Pompey, New York at the Brew House. And of course in their newest location at Heritage Hill North, right by the Syracuse Hancock International Airport on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse, New York at Sweetheart Corners. We are here for a Dolphin Dive in year 4 of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Le Moyne College. I am honored and privileged to work with Le Moyne and entrusting me with a partnership unlike any other they've had in school history. And they were the first to sign on in this mission that I have with Wake Up Call to do things differently with innovation, care, love, concern, and a desire to help spread the wonderful stories of amazing people. Jaro Zawislan is one of those amazing people, one of those great stories. Jaro and I met years before he came to Le Moyne. He came a couple seasons ago as an interim head coach to help the team out in the 11th hour and did such a tremendous job that they offered him the job as the full-time head coach, take that interim tag off. He did that, they did that, and it has been to the success of this team, in my opinion, that has happened. We are in year 2 of the reclassification to Division 1. And I am elated to have this Dolphin Dive here with Jaro Zawislan. So we got a lot to talk about and a lot to say with one of my favorite coaches in the community. Jaro, how are we doing?
Doing very well. Thank you. Another successful season.
Yeah, and Jaro, you and I were talking about this off the air, but I said I fully blame you and your team for the fact that I find a way in my schedule to get out to those women's soccer games. I've, of course, supported Le Moyne all the way through, and I have spoken with all 21 of the programs. And you've seen me out there a lot. I blame your student athletes. I blame your staff. I blame you. And, of course, I use blame as a fun term here, as a positive term. But it is fully your fault and your team's fault that I love coming out to Ted Grant Field and watching these games on the pitch.
We greatly appreciate, Dan, you being there almost all the time at all of our games. And we'll take it as a compliment, you blaming us for that. I guess we are doing something very well for you to be there and enjoy our game days.
Yeah, it's great. And you going through the interim and being a head coach, like I said, that helped them out, helped Bob Beretta and Le Moyne out in a pinch, and then they offered you the job and you took it. Just what your thoughts are now, being a year beyond that, of why you took the job when it was an interim job, and when they offered you the job and said, hey, we want you to be here full time. You've done so much with Syracuse FC. You've done so much in the community with soccer in general. You are a very busy person that didn't have to take on another job and didn't have to take on something that was so big and ask so much of you. So being a year beyond that decision, why, when they said, hey, we want you to be the head coach officially, why did you say, you know what, something that was a temporary thing to be an interim, why did you say yes long term to Le Moyne?
This project has grown on all of us in a very positive way. That first season, the interim season, we walked into the situation that it was very late, just before the preseason, and the response from the student athletes, the support from the Le Moyne College community has been tremendous. It just felt like the right decision, right place, especially with the improvement the program has made that first year. So we wanted to continue that project. And when the reclassification announcement came up last year, there was another challenge that was presented in front of everybody in the community. And life is about the challenges. It's nice to take them on as projects, and we are very excited about where the process is taking us. This preseason, players came in and the group presented itself at the best starting point yet to any one of the preseasons that we were involved with. So it's very positive outlook. Now, the field, the games will verify how much progress we have made, how much gap we have closed with the other Division I teams progressing, and our schedule being very challenging with the home opener against the NCAA tournament participant and conference champion in the University of Maine. So we're looking forward to those challenges. But that project has been growing on us in a very positive way, and we're excited where it's going.
Yeah, and Jaro, when you look at last season, you did make history with Lemoyne. With Lemoyne being a fully fledged Division I institution in the NCAA, you carried their first win ever as a full D1 institution, the first sport to do it. Yes, they had baseball. Yes, they had women's lacrosse that competed in Division I, but you went down in history as the first team at Lemoyne to win a game with them being a full Division I institution in all sports. That was on the road at Niagara, 3-2. What does that mean to you that historically, with Lemoyne being a full all-sport Division I institution, that your program carried the first victory in that historic move?
Tremendous credit has to be given to our student athletes. That was an easy game to get the result from, and we actually had to come back to get that historic result. And the resilience of our student athletes, their character showed in that game. And scoring that late goal and seeing the joy and happiness on the faces of all of our student athletes and the coaches, that's a great reward for the coaches when you see players being able to enjoy moments like that. In addition, it was a historic moment for women's soccer and athletic department that just added to the joy of that day.
It's something that I think goes unnoticed and shouldn't, and so I'm going to put a spotlight on it here with Jaro Zawislan, the head coach of the Lemoyne Dolphins women's soccer program, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership here on Wake Up Call inside of the Heritage Hill Studios in this edition of the Dolphin Dive. Your team had 4 ties last season, 4 matches that ended in a tie, 2 non-conference, 2 in-conference, a tie against the University of Rhode Island at home, a tie against Robert Morris at home, and then in conference, 2 ties, one on the road inside of the NEC, the Northeast Conference at Delaware State, and another one inside of the NEC at Central Connecticut State. So 2 ties in conference, 2 ties out of conference, 2 of those ties on the road, 2 of those ties at home. Ties don't typically get the credit that they deserve, but being in your first season reclassifying to Division I and only your second season with the team, what do those ties say about this team moving forward, of what you did to have a draw against Central Connecticut State, Delaware State, Robert Morris, and the University of Rhode Island?
We definitely don't go into the game thinking that we are going to play for a tie. However, yes, you're right. Ties are still positive results. We still are getting something out of the game, and especially the late season tie against Central Connecticut State has shown the improvement and growth of the team to get the positive result against eventual conference champion and NCAA tournament on the road at their place. That was a tremendous achievement for the team that is just reclassifying to Division I.
And looking at this season's schedule, we know that there's a game tomorrow here as we are, sharing this on August 14th. Your first game of the 2024 season is this week, Thursday, August 15th at 3 p.m., and it's a home game. You get to start your second season in Division I in reclassification at home, and that's going to be on Ted Grant Field against the University of Maine, as you mentioned. And not only that, but when we look at this schedule for you, 5 of your first 6 games are at home. You're home against the University of Maine, on the road at Robert Morris, who we mentioned last season was a tie. and then you're home against Niagara University, Siena College, Iona University, and Temple University before you go on the road, and then you're back at home against Binghamton. Jaro, God bless this schedule. I love the amount of home games and the amount of home games to start off the season. I mean, we look at last year and the benefits and kind of, coaches, not just you, but coaches throughout Lemoyne saying, hey, go with us through the schedule. We had to kind of, rush it and get it done quick. The news of reclassifying came in Maine. To the fall sports, it was regrouping and trying to make a schedule really fast, which means a lot of the teams played on the road, your team included. And so the benefit of that is the payback that you're going to have a ton of home matches this season, and starting off the season with 5 out of 6 at home, and then you go to Stony Brook and you're back at home against Binghamton. So we're looking at 6 out of the first 7 matches at home at Ted Grant Field this season, which is a benefit of the team having to go and play on the road so many times last year, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it.
Yes, we are very happy with the schedule, how it worked out. Coaching staff worked very hard on putting the schedule last year on a very short notice, and this year's schedule worked out nicely. There was a lot of hard work that was put into it. There's still a lot of moving parts for next couple of seasons. So, we're happy where we are at with the schedule. Of course, home games by itself, just playing at home, is not going to get us a W. We still will have to earn the result at home, but definitely the schedule is laid out in a nice way for our team. We divide the season into the 3 parts in the fall. First part is the true preseason that we are going through right now, and we are coming to the end of it. The next part will be the out-of-conference season, and that out-of-conference season, every game is very important, and in every game we'll be looking to get a result. However, that out-of-conference season is very important in the preparation for the most important part of the season, which is our conference season, which starts in the middle of September. So we are looking to be starting that second part of 3 parts of this fall season this Thursday. Looking forward to very challenging test against the team that has a great track record. They are on the high of last year's NCAA tournament appearance and conference championship. They are very well coached, very well organized, and they are very deep with the talent.
And Jaro, you said that to me last year, that you separate the season into 3 parts: the preseason, the non-conference, and then the in-conference games, which for you are inside of the NEC. What can you say to the benefits of that, to telling your team this isn't just one season, it's 3 seasons, it's 3 parts to a season. It's handling what we need to handle in the preseason. What are our wins in the preseason? What are the places we need to work in? And then let's go to non-conference play. What are our wins? Where do we need to work? And then we're at 0-0 again, heading into the conference of the NEC. And if we do our job, we're going to make the NEC postseason. So, what are our wins and what are our areas of improvement there? What are the benefits to you of separating the season into 3 parts and essentially giving your team the opportunity to kind of go through the preseason and then say, okay, it's a new season, go through the non-conference, and then say it's a new season when you go into the NEC?
In sports, having a short memory is very important with regards not getting too high on highs and too low of lows of the experiences of various results that you are getting out of the games, especially with the plays where we are in progress with regards to reclassification process. That's very important with our players. We don't emphasize just one game at a time. We emphasize one play at a time. Last year, we were celebrating every achievement on the field. Would it be the first goal at Division I level? Would it be the first positive result, first win, first game-winning goal, first shutout? Those are great things to celebrate and achieve. This year, new season, it starts with 0 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties. It's a fresh start. And we'll have to earn anything that we get out of the season. We'll have to earn every single positive experience. Players know it. They are preparing themselves for it. And they will earn it. They will earn those positive experiences, positive results on the field. And going back to the 3-part season, that's kind of a reset, right? You go to the first game, out of conference game, everybody starts with a clean record. And then you go through the out of conference season, and then you have to hit the reset button with the record when you go to the conference. No matter what you've done out of conference, that doesn't get you any wins, ties, points in the conference standings. You have to restart again. For good or bad, that's what happens, and that's what we have to be prepared to do.
Yeah, and when you have this team coming back this season for 2024, when you talk about those wins and the things that you can improve on and areas that you can work with, there's a couple things to say about how the roster's set up this season. And one of the things that I want to get to, the first point I want to get to, is Yasmina Barhome, as well as Hermione Hognerud, as well as Jenica Brown. Some of the names that I can name here on this list, Danielle Casey as well, and so on and so forth, and naming them some of that leadership that you had last year, some that really helped you to do some good things in your first season as a Division I program. What can you say that of the leadership that is returning? And I'm not meaning to leave anybody out. I'm just giving a few names to the point here. Caitlin Corsi as well, and so on and so forth. But what does that leadership do of those that are returning that put a lot of time on the field for you last year?
It's great to have that continuity in the program. And in our program, at any given moment, players have to be prepared to mentor the other players and also be mentored for a good leader. Sometimes you have to be a good follower, and vice versa. So having that continuity with players who are contributing on the field and providing that leadership on and off the field has been tremendous. With incoming first-year players, freshman class, and transfers added to the roster of returning players, we think we have a very good, well-balanced roster this year. It's been very positive preseason and very enjoyable preseason for players and coaches, and that definitely goes with the continuity and continuity of leadership in our program.
Yeah, and Jaro, not only that, but last year you had to put a bunch of people out there that maybe you would have waited to have, more practice time before they got experience on the field. What can you say to that, to some of those players that were young in the collegiate game last year that you had to lean on due to injury, due to different things going on, due to stamina, playing against some of these teams that have been Division I forever, and your team transitioning from D2 to D1? What can you say about some of those players on your roster that maybe wouldn't have had the time in other situations or circumstances, but that you had to play? What does that do to benefit the team right now?
Well, as we heard that saying, if you are good enough, you're old enough, you're experienced enough. We are not hesitating as coaching staff to put players that just join our program onto the field. It's all based on the performances and the training sessions and the games. We observe, we evaluate, and players really dictate the coaches' decisions by their performances on the field every day. One bad day doesn't make it or break it. One great day doesn't allow a player to permanently land in the starting lineup, play major minutes. But we are looking for that trend, for the consistency, and players know in our program it's all based on their performances, and that's the nice thing about the situation like that. They know that they are earning what they are getting out of this experience. They are earning the playing time, they are earning the starting positions, they are earning the higher plays in the rotation. So the situation is such that it's never set in stone. The starting lineup, the playing minutes, it's all fluid. Many times we go into the first half of the game and we go through the rotation of the players. And one of our jobs as coaches is to evaluate who has a better day that day. And even the first half of the game will dictate which players are going to play a greater role in the second half of the game. So, again, our philosophy is not to hold anybody back. We are not looking at the age. We are not looking at the experience, how many years they've been with our program or the collegiate level. It comes down to their performance on the field.
Yeah, and like you said, that fluidity, I mean, do you think that, what has that done to the culture of your program? The fact that you're not in the preseason saying, these are my starters, I'm never going to change my mind, I'm closed-minded, it doesn't matter what you do in practice, these are the people that are starting and that's it. What has it done to the dynamic and the culture of your team that, like you said, how you perform in practice this week can dictate who my starters are, who's going out there. How you play in the first half of a game on a Tuesday can decide if you're going to be out there in the second half of the game. What you do on Tuesday could affect what I do on Thursday. The fact that there's this fluidity of who your starters are going to be and who's going to get the playing time out there, what has that done positively for your culture of this program for women's soccer at Le Moyne?
This is the goal of the program, to get to this place that the competition, the environment, the training environment, the environment inside of the program is so competitive in a healthy way, of course, in the positive way, within the reason that players are always playing at their personal best at the given day. And everybody can have a bad day, everybody can have a tougher spell. And that's something that's always taken into consideration, especially when the players establish themselves. So they have a good track record, good trend going on there with the performances. Again, one bad day is not going to take away everything that they've done on and off the field for the program. However, that's the goal for the coaching staff. That's the goal for the players. That's the goal for the team, to have such a competitive environment that coaches don't need to and shouldn't have to motivate players to be at their personal best on a given day. And the goalkeepers group is a great example of it. We have 4 goalkeepers right now in the program. Each one of us capable of playing at Division 1 level. There's no question about it. They know they can play, they can start for the programs at Division 1 level. And with the 2 returning goalkeepers and 2 first-year goalkeepers coming in, they have a very good dynamic, very good group chemistry, working with each other very well. And it brings the best out of them, because they are all playing at the high level and looking at what the first-year players were doing during our evaluation part of the recruiting process, and knowing what our returning goalkeepers have done in the past. They're all playing the best soccer since we've seen them, since we know them. And the big part of it is, again, 4 goalkeepers coming in, having a great working environment, but creating very good, competitive, healthy environment for each other. And that brings the best out of them.
And Jaro, before we jump into rapid fire, Jaro Zawislan here in this edition of the Dolphin Dive, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership between Wake Up Call, Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, and Le Moyne College here inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. You brought up the goalkeepers. Allison Moreau, a fantastic goalkeeper, historic goalkeeper for Le Moyne history. I would imagine at some point she might be in the Gold Wave Dolphins Hall of Fame. Moving on from her and everything that she brought to the program, you mentioned Ainsley and Sarah, the returning goalkeepers that you have, and then 2 incoming. I would love for you, if you could, impart with us as we step into the season, if you could individually, of each of your 4 goalkeepers, give us something about each of them by name to kind of tell us what their talents are or what they bring? Because you said any of them can play, any of them can be out there on the field. So I'd love to know individually what you've kind of seen from each of your goalkeepers now that your longtime goalkeeper and Allison Moreau has moved on.
Yeah, so first of all, Dan, I will have to be very general in answering this question. Right now, there's no videos of the preseason videos of any team out there in the country. And the teams are doing a tremendous job of trying to do the research on strengths and weaknesses of the teams and individual players there. So unfortunately, I won't be able to answer that question in a specific way. But
understood.
You had the right to ask that question, but I don't think I will go into the details of each goalkeeper. You summed it up beautifully with regards to Allison. First of all. Yes, Allison has been tremendous for Le Moyne College women's soccer program. When we got here, she was already at a very good Division II level of goalkeeping. She has grown to be exceptional goalkeeper at Division II level. With the jump to Division I, there was a little bit of adjustment, and by the end of the Division I season, her only season at Division I level, she became one of the best goalkeepers, not only in the Northeast, but in the country. She was invited to various events for evaluation purposes for the next level, for professional level, was part of the goalkeepers that were available for the draft. We can't say enough what Allison has done for this program. With 4 keepers coming in, we feel very comfortable that goalkeeping position will be very, very solid for our program this year. Yes, every one of those goalkeepers have different strengths and areas to improve, but we'll keep it for now to ourselves, that situation, if you don't mind, and we can talk a little bit more about more specifics when the rest of the country finds out about the makeup of our group.
I didn't ask you to give anything away, as you know, but I completely, I'm just excited because for the first time in a long time, the goalkeeper in the box, and not that we didn't see some work last year from those backing up Allison, but it is a new opportunity, a new era, a new chance for somebody to step up here. So I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to it. And at the same time, I respect you as a coach for saying, let me keep as much secretive as I can, Dan, until I know. So, Jaro, you and I are on the same wavelength. I'm totally fine with you doing that. I'm just excited for the group, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And Allison did a tremendous job, but I will tell you, keep as much to yourself as you possibly can, as you know, right?
Yeah, I appreciate the understanding, and we will definitely talk more about the goalkeepers because they're such a crucial part of the game, and it is very important for our program too, especially in the place in this process where we are at right now.
So let's jump into rapid fire. We get to put each other on the hot seat. Jaro and I have done this a lot. Jaro Zawislan, the head coach. Rapid fire. We're doing it again. You need to be prepared, Jaro. You know it's coming. So Jaro and I have done this many times on camera, on audio as well. And we're here in this Dolphin Dive to do it again. There is no pre-planning to this. That's why it's called rapid fire. And Jaro gets to ask me some questions. I get to ask him some. I will defer to you, Coach. You get to ask me the first question. What do you got for me?
Your favorite women's soccer national team?
My favorite women's soccer America.
Great answer.
Yeah, the United States of America. Like, Jaro, can we talk about this for 1 second here? Why do people not know that the United States of America has the most successful team in the world of any nation in the world? The United States women's national team is the most successful when it comes to the FIFA World Cup, when it comes to playing for championships, winning championships, better than Germany, better than Brazil, better than Italy, better than Spain, better than France, better than England. Why do people not know that the United States women's national team, when it comes to FIFA, that they are the best of the best? Like, do we not scream it from the rooftops enough? Do you and I have to be louder about this?
Yeah, that's been tremendous to see the growth of women's soccer in United States and worldwide, and definitely United States women's national team has been always at the forefront of this growth of the game throughout the world. This event, again, historic event, Olympic gold medal. We actually adjusted even our training sessions to make sure that the team had the opportunity to watch all the most important games of this U.S. national team run in the Olympics. And there was great also team building activity for our team, and also a good tactical session to see the best players in the world play.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I think that's wonderful that you allowed your team the opportunity to watch this. My question back to, and a shout out to the United States women's national team for their gold medal in the Paris Olympics, adding to more success on top of FIFA World Cups and so on and so forth. My first question to you, Jaro, who is your favorite NWSL team and why?
Well, I am not going to pick one. I tell you, it's not a cop-out, but again, watching the games, and it doesn't matter if you would ask me about men's or women's professional teams, at some point you grow as a coach to observe the games and kind of detach yourself emotionally from the games, and you become student of the game at such a high level that you don't develop really preferences. At least that's me. And again, I would say the same thing about men's or the women's teams, because you start watching the games and you analyze, you try to pick up on few things that the coaches do in the games, and maybe you can apply it to your team, would it be set pieces or some new tendencies that coaches bring into the games. So again, you would ask me worldwide about the best, my favorite club, the best clubs on the men's side or the women's sides. I don't develop favors. I really watch the games from the analytical point of view, and it doesn't matter if it is a Champions League, is it a professional club soccer, or is it World Cup, Olympics. You really develop that sense of, okay, what are the new trends here? What are the new things that people are trying to do on the field? And you try to analyze that game this way. Emotion, watching the games, it gets in the way of this process. And I know it sounds a little bit robotic, a little bit automated, but that's how I approach the games of soccer at the higher level. It's really looking at it more as a student of the game and not developing an emotional attachments to any particular team.
No, I can understand it and I can respect it. And they have some really awesome names in the NWSL, by the way, folks. Some really Seattle Reign, love that name, Angel City, the North Carolina Courage, and so on and so forth. Kansas City Spirit, or Kansas City Current, I should say, Washington Spirit. So what's your second question for me, Jaro?
Well, as you said, we were kind of talking about the rapid fire. I thought that we are not going to get to that place, so I wasn't prepared with the question. So for me, rapid fire is also kind of just go off of any thoughts that come to mind.
Anything.
We talk about favorite movies one of those days, and my question is if you have a favorite soccer movie. We talk about this a little bit in the past. Do you have a favorite soccer team movie?
Yeah, you know what? You might laugh. I think your student athletes might know this, and you might laugh when I say it. But my favorite soccer movie would have to be, and it's one that's a little bit older here, but it would have to be the movie She's the Man. And it's a comedy movie. It's a sports and comedy movie where Amanda Bynes, she's not able to play on a women's team in college, so she pretends to be her brother, and she plays on the men's team. And she's just trying to get out there. She's just trying to showcase herself and like what she can do. But it shows her. It was kind of like back in the day, women's sports weren't given a lot of love, a lot of respect. Women's soccer not given a lot of publicity. So it was one of those movies where it was mainstream and it was out there in the theater, and it focused on women's soccer. And I just thought that it was really cool to see a movie like that. I know people would say Bennett like Beckham and some of these other movies out there, but I just thought it was cool to see a women's soccer spotlight in a movie with a well-known actress at a time where I don't think there was a spotlight on it. So I thought it was pretty cool to see that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My question back to you, and my final question for you, Jaro. Where is your favorite... Okay, let me go with this. What is your guilty pleasure snack? Like, you're on the bus, you guys are, going on a road game for Le Moyne Dolphins women's soccer. What is that guilty pleasure that if you stopped at a gas station, you're like, I gotta get me one of these? What is that snack?
Well, I will give you an answer in general because whenever we can on the road trip, we try to stop by Wegmans, and Wegmans is not paying me for it. but I think our whole program enjoys the variety of the choices there for not only meals but the snacks and everything else that is available. So I would just generalize that as stop at the Wegmans on the road trip with all the choices that are there. That's good enough for me, and it changes the choices that I make at those stops. It became kind of like part of our routine. Many times we'll stop at Wegmans here in Syracuse area before we hit the road, so players have all the food and supplies they need for that part of the road trip. And even coming back, our coaching staff, our assistant coaches do a tremendous job of looking at all the other available Wegmans locations. And I think there's still ongoing Wegmans partnership with the Le Moyne Athletic Department, so we maybe did our due diligence to give them exposure there. So
I was going to say, where's the NIL deal for Jaro Zawislan with Wegmans? You need an NIL deal, Jaro. We need to make that happen.
I don't know if the coaches can have those, but the thing is, again, it's on the record now, right? So you have the record of our efforts to give the exposure to one of our partners.
Yeah, absolutely. That coming from Jaro Zawislan. The first game of the season, believe it or not, folks, is this week, and you will find them at home facing off against the University of Maine this Thursday, August 15th at 3 p.m. on Ted Grant Field. They'll be on the pitch, and you can be sure that you'll see me out there this season, and we look forward to seeing all the fantastic support. These women's soccer games have been tremendous, and I want to shout out everyone that comes out to these games, rain or shine, in good weather, bad weather, in the middle of the week, on the weekend, on the road. I want to give a big-time shout-out to the Finn family, this Dolphin family, very much so. Jaro, as always, it's a pleasure to talk with you. I know we'll be talking a lot more throughout the season, but you've always given me plenty of time, and you've answered all my questions except for the goalkeeper question, so thank you for doing that today, and I appreciate you as always.
We'll come back to the goalkeeper question, I promise you. We'll give you a more comprehensive answer next time. But then, thank you very much for everything you do for Le Moyne College, for athletic department, for all the programs in the athletic department, and for our women's soccer program. Your support and help is greatly appreciated.
Well, it's always my pleasure, and like I say, it's easy to support good people doing good things. So thank you for everything you and the team are doing.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
With Dan Tortora on-site on location at the AAC kickoff down in Arlington, Texas in our Travel Heritage Hill studios. I'm here with Derek and Dante of the Temple Owls. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Nice to meet you, man.
And so nice to meet you too. And I want to let you know this, that as you flank me here, red, purple, those are Toronto Raptor colors. So I want to say thank you for doing that by mistake. But how are you, gentlemen?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
So Dante, I want to start with you. Greatest achievement, besides winning a championship, greatest achievement that this team can have this season?
I think having least amount of turnovers in the conference.
Least amount of turnovers in the conference. And for you, specifically when you look at, I just spoke with Coach Drayton, what is it about his leadership that speaks to you, that gets through to you in a world where relationships are not always valued like they have been?
Well, I mean, with Coach Drayton, I think he knows what he wants, and I think that's really important for a leader. Because when you have like clear expectations, you know what's misunderstood. So I think that's how you can get everyone on board, and that's how I'm able to follow what he's doing. Just like kind of
for you, what are some of those messages that have gotten through to you from Coach?
Just really just staying consistent, always having a chip on your shoulder, and to have that grit mentality is one of the things that Coach Green preach about. So,
talk about the chip on your shoulder. Preseason poll comes out. There's 14 teams. Temple's 14th. How do you use that immediately? I'll start with you, Demeric. How do you use that immediately as a positive as you go into the 2024-25 season?
just putting your head, we're going to put our head down and we're going to get to work so we can prepare for Saturdays. So that's all. That's pretty much, being to say, we just putting our head down and we working. We're not really looking at that type of stuff. We just going to keep our head up and we're going to keep, getting better every single week and getting better every single day to leading us to a championship mindset.
That's it for you. Seeing that, does that mean anything to you? Does it put a fire in you? We talk about blue collar, we talk about grit, hard nose, however you want to call it. Does seeing that bring something out?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, everyone wants to be the number one spot, so I think everyone should be working just as hard. If they're the number 2 or 14th spot to be the number one spot. So I think that's where we're at right now. I think we want to kind of leave a legacy at Temple, and that's what we're working on right now.
And when you look at Temple, obviously the city of Philadelphia is not only known nationwide, it's known worldwide. What do you like about Philly?
Kind of the proximity of everything. You just get on the train, go to South City, and everything's walkable. So I really like that about the city.
Favorite cheesesteak spot? I'm not going to tell you what Coach said because I don't want to load this question. but I'm going back to Philly shortly. And my buddy refused to go into the city. We were at Rivers Casino doing a sports card show, and he refused to go in on scheduling and whatnot. And I told him either I'm going in without you or you're coming in with me because I'm getting a cheesesteak. So Dante, tell me where to go.
I like Larry's.
Larry's, okay. Why Larry's? What do they do that's unique?
They got this one. It's the belly filler. It's like 24 inches long. So it's like
The belly filler.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Larry's. Demeric?
How you doing? Mine is I would have to say I like Ishkaboos. I like Geno's. Geno's is pretty okay.
Okay.
I've only had a couple. I'm not, I'm a big. I like chicken cheese, but Philly cheesesteak is good.
Okay.
I only eat it.
Larry's. Coach said Angelo's.
Angelo's is actually pretty good.
Okay.
I take Geno's out.
You put Angelo's
Like
second.
Angelo's second.
Okay. Fair enough. So for you guys, the relationship that you built, not just as teammates but personally, you're representing all of Temple here at the AAC kickoff. Not just your football program, you're representing the university. So what can you say about being honored to represent Temple and the relationship that you have with Dante?
It's a great honor to be here representing the team and to be next to one of the guys on the team that shows one of the most positive attitudes, that tries hard in every drill, gives all of his effort in every single drill, every single practice, and it shows on his tape. So it's an honor to be with Dante, and it's an honor to represent Temple right now.
Representing Temple for you, Dante, and being here with the mayor.
Yeah, I think it speaks a lot for what the coach had to pick these two guys for us, and I think it's really great to be here with the mayor because he's always positive. He's always gonna light the room up with everything that he does. So it's just really fortunate to be with him.
You're a wide receiver. We know that the world of quarterback gets so much publicity. What can you say about the signal caller this season? And if there's anything you want to tell him personally about getting you the ball?
Yeah, just I guess we're gonna game plan every week just for the best person to get the ball. So be in there for a couple of plays. So
What can you say about leadership at quarterback now going into the season?
yeah, so I like all the quarterbacks we had. We had a good chance to throw with all of them over the summer. And I think anyone that they put in there, I think will have a really good chance.
Do you like the fact that you're going into fall with still a competition at quarterback?
Yeah, I feel like it keeps them hungry. I feel like it keeps them motivated. So I don't want anyone to lose in that position, especially. So I feel like it's really good for everyone.
America D tackle, they don't really let you hit the quarterback in practice. But what can you say about the offensive side of the ball and what Temple has to offer, because you're seeing it firsthand?
Just a really, aggressive and fast-paced, offense with a lot of explosive players around, which is a very big threat coming from a defensive tackle. You got an O-line that's pretty good, pretty stout, where they have really good depth. We have great backs. We have great receivers, a lot of older guys, a lot of younger guys. So this is all a threat, and we just got to use them threats to, make explosive plays and make big plays and key moments to win games.
Dante, for you, what do you see for the defense this season?
I just think we get some turnovers. I feel like we brought some pieces along. We got pieces coming back, and I think we can do that a lot this year. So I'm really excited to see what we can do in the Center Bowl.
With NIL and the transfer portal and all this talk about money and essentially free agency and collegiate athletics, why do you stay committed to Temple, Dante?
Because at the end of the day, it's not about money for me. I just want to play football, and that's kind of like an added-on factor for me. So didn't really have money in my decision. So I just want to keep main thing. And for me, it's football.
Why Temple?
I had a really good conversation with Drayden on my official visit. So I like what he had a vision, and I just want to play for him. He's a good guy.
Demeric, for you, why Temple, and amidst this world that we live in with the short-term gain, why Temple for you, and why do you think it's the right place long-term, not just short-term?
I committed here at a high school, so it's been, always a place in my heart to be at Temple, and to, build the program into where it needs to be. Just graduated, so, I'm a very loyal guy, trustworthy guy, so, I'm going to stay loyal to where I made my achievements at, and I'm going to continue to make them here at Temple.
Love that. Let's be jumping into rapid fire now, which allows you guys to ask questions, which you're not going to get to do the rest of the season unless you're back on Wake Up Call here on the show. So I'm going to let you guys put me on the hot seat, and then we're going to go back and forth. Demeric, you get to ask me the first question. Could be anything in the world, football, life, whatever you want.
Anything?
Anything.
Anything.
Anything. And I have to answer it, or it's going to look weird when I edit this. So.
Anything.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Okay. What is your favorite city and why?
In America?
In America, it could be out of the country,
Okay.
in the country, anywhere.
I'm going to say my favorite city is my hometown because there's a line from Macklemore that says it says I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me.
Mm-hmm.
And Syracuse is blue collar. I love being from Syracuse, New York. I love the people. I love the generations of my family that's been there. And I've met some incredible people that are extremely hardworking and dedicated, and they remind me that God is not only alive, God is well. So I'm going to shout out Syracuse. If I had to pick out of the country, I'm going to say Toronto, Ontario, Canada, because I am a Raptor, and if I got dual citizenship somewhere, it would definitely be 4 hours away in Canada, for sure. My question back to you, Demeric, is we talked about food, so, all right. I want to know your favorite superhero, and if you teamed up with this superhero. So tell me your favorite superhero, and then when you team up with them, what is your superpower?
My favorite superhero?
Yes, sir.
Spider-Man. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Come on. Yeah, Spider-Man, man. Gotta be.
All right, so you got a power. What's your power?
I'm going to do the same thing as him. We're going to be duos.
Duos? All right.
We're going to be duos.
All right, I like that. So 2 web slingers in the same city? Are you going to be protecting Philly?
Yeah, he might have to do New York. I might got to do Philly, man.
Okay. All right. And every once in a while, just shoot a web and get that cheesesteak, pull it up from Ishkabillis.
I'm going to get them for free. You're going to be saving people. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the least they could do.
That's like an NIL deal for being a superhero. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah.
We could do a commercial of you shooting the web, picking up the Ishkabillis cheesesteak, and then eating it on top of a building. I like that.
Yeah.
Right by the Liberty Bell. I like that. Yeah, we can make that happen. See, and if that happens now, I get some type of rights to that because I came up with that idea.
Hands down.
So you and I will talk.
Oh yeah, we got you. I'm gonna talk to you after.
All right, Dante, what's your first question for me?
What's your favorite college football player to watch?
Right now?
All time.
All time.
Yeah.
Oh boy, probably Donovan McNabb from home, and obviously he went to Philly and led the Eagles to a lot of great things. I always challenge Philadelphia Eagles fans when they don't like Donovan McNabb to name the quarterback before him, and most of them can't. So, a fantastic guy, awesome to my family, awesome to me, and I met him before he was big time. You know, I guess in his opinion, I'll never forget what he said to me. He was working as a host at Tully's restaurant in Syracuse, New York on Erie Boulevard. And I have in my studio the Tully's coaster that he signed with his name, number 5 quarterback, sent to my mom and I, and I'll never forget this. He said, I know I'm not right now, but just watch, I might be somebody someday. And darn it if he didn't make that a real thing. So when somebody tells you what they're capable of and what they can do, what do they say when someone tells you who they are, believe them? And he told me he might be somebody someday, and he sure as heck has been somebody. So I'm going to say McNabb. My question back to you, Dante, is, all right, so if you had to fight any villain in the Marvel or DC universe, what villain would you love to go up against, and why?
That's it, Thanos.
Thanos. All right. I have an Infinity Gauntlet watch, so I didn't bring that with me here today. So why Thanos?
If I can say that I beat Thanos,
And you the god.
I'm him.
You him. You him. You the goat.
He's a kind of like an icon.
Yeah.
I also feel like he's the Michael Jackson of Marvel because he has a jeweled glove on one hand.
Yes.
So I consider that a unique approach for him. What would he be like with the gloves off, so to speak? You know what I mean? If he didn't have all of that to his disposal. But I like that. If you beat him, then you are the guy. All right, Dante, we're going to go one more round here. You get the first question on this round.
So, what would be your dream, vacation destination?
Going to see my family in Italy and Spain. Without question. And my family in Spain, thank you for watching and listening. 5 hours ahead of time, I think it is, but they actually will reach out, so shout out to them for their love and support. And back to you, Dante. Best thing to do in Philadelphia besides play football?
Go watch the Phillies play.
Go watch the Phillies play? Are they going to win the World Series this year?
They have a really good chance. I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Love watching baseball.
All right, Demeric, your final question for me.
What's your favorite animal?
Gotta say a dog, because my dog Lily is awesome.
Okay.
I'd also say a Jaguar, and I'm a Jaguars fan.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Go Jags.
my question back to you, I'm going to stay with animals. If you transformed into an animal for 24 hours, who would you be? What would you be and why?
Black Panther. Any day.
Okay, I like that. Why?
They can swim. They can swim. They can climb. They're pretty. They're smart. And they just one of the main cat animals out there.
And in the Marvel Universe, you could steal the gauntlet from him because the Black Panther has worn the Infinity Gauntlet in the comics.
I like him. I like him.
So, Demeric and Dante, Temple Owls, go support your owls out in the community in Philadelphia and beyond. Here on Wake Up Call, Demeric, thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate
Nice to
you.
meet you.
And Dante, nice to meet you. My best to you this season.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Take care. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. This is Dan Tortora of Wake Up Call, on site, on location in our Travel Heritage Hill studios, and we are here with Federico Maranjes here with us on the line of FAU with those Owls winning in paradise. And I was talking about this off the air. These helmets are sick. Yeah. So well, you can see this here, folks. You can see the palm tree here, and then you have the Atlantic right there on the great state of Florida. This helmet is also, like, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, do you have a bigger head?
Adjustments right here.
I mean, I don't know how, I got a pretty good cadence, I think, but we'll say. So, how's everything been? How's it been here for you to be out at Media Day so far?
Good. It's been really fun. We just got here maybe about 2 hours ago. So, we just jumped straight into Media Day. We just took our pictures right now, and we played the EA game with FAU, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, you played the college football game. It's good to have it back.
Yes.
It's been a million years. I remember I used to play it when I was in elementary school. So What was it like for you to experience it?
No, I mean, it's different when you play Madden all your life and then you see your name in the screen. It's something, it's a dream come true kind of. But it's exciting to see all, you play with the same guys and you choose what depth chart you want, you choose what type of players you want to pass the ball to, and those are guys that you know. Yeah. So it's definitely funny when you see the game do something wrong and one guy misses a block, so you can actually, be, connected to the game because you're like, oh, why did you do this? And you're just talking to your same player. So it's
the question, I guess, becomes: do you have a teammate that you benched when you change the depth chart?
No, never. I leave the depth chart as it is. We have good players, so there's no need to change the depth chart.
Did they give everybody a score?
Yeah.
Did you look at your score?
I did.
What was it?
It was an 83, actually.
83, disrespectful score.
I mean, to be honest, I'm more disrespected about the 59 speed that they gave me.
59 speed?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I think I'm a pretty fast offensive lineman, but 59, like, come on. What are we doing here?
And the thing is, I mean, you're down in Florida, right? So y'all are running all the time.
Exactly.
So.
We're running all the time. We're in this heat. Like, at least give me a 70. At least get me up there. I think I'm a little bit faster than a 59.
My argument to them would be that it's never 59 degrees in the state of Florida, so you can't have a speed at that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's to that logistic, then give me a 99 speed every single time.
Fair enough. Now, I'm all about, with Wake Up Call, we're different. It's not your typical sports show, and it's all about relationships and a lot about who you are and not just statistics or how well the team is doing in the win-loss column. So your tattoos, they come out to me right away here. Bring me into the story of what we're looking at right here. And can we show those a little bit closer here?
Sure.
So what's kind of the rhyme and reason to what we got?
So I was born and raised in Puerto Rico my whole life, and I moved here after Hurricane Maria in 2017. And I just wanted to get a tattoo that signifies me being from Puerto Rico, and these are the tribal tattoos that the Taínos from Puerto Rico have from Borinquen. So this is the moon. This is our animal, the coqui, which is a frog, and then I have the sun on my chest. Awesome. And then hopefully I finish it with everything else, but right now it's like halfway done. But,
so it's an ode to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it's an ode to Puerto Rico because, whenever everything's finished and everything's done, I would love to move back. I still have family over there. My best friends from all my life are still over there. So it's just, everything I do is just try to help, hold Puerto Rico to a higher name and, try to, expand the football in Puerto Rico because there's not a lot of football. That's why I basically had to leave Puerto Rico because there's no recruiting, there's no scouting down there, and there's tremendous players down there. It's basically like South Florida. It's hot always. Yeah. So those guys down there run, and I really think it's an unexplored option for all the scouting because Puerto Rico is untapped territory.
So like you said, you had to leave in order to find a way to get noticed.
Yep.
So how difficult was that for you, especially after Hurricane Maria?
So that's actually a pretty interesting story when I got here. So after the hurricane, we had no power. We didn't have anything for the 3 weeks or a month I was there. Yeah. So somehow my dad was still working with his company at the time, and he had a distributor, one of his distributors, that he managed to send a text through WhatsApp, and he told him, "Hey, we're trying to find a plane to Miami. Is there any schools that you know in Miami?" And that guy luckily went to Christopher Columbus High School in Miami, and he got me an interview. So when I left Puerto Rico on a charter plane to Dominican Republic to then Miami, the first interview I got was in Columbus.
Oh, wow.
And that was, I think it was October 2nd. And then October 3rd, I was up in Tampa at IMG, and October 5th, I started in Columbus. And I remember because October 5th is my birthday. So that's how I still remember all the dates, because I started in Columbus on my birthday. They made us take an ACT that day. Like they just, they took me in, they made me one of theirs, and Columbus, I'm, grateful for Columbus with what they've done to me and my family.
Well, I feel like it's been an easy conversation, obviously, to talk with you, and it makes sense to me now because we're both October babies.
There you go.
On the 21st. Yeah,
okay,
we're
there
Libras.
you go.
So I'm going to have to make sure that I get in touch with you when it's Libra season.
Perfect.
Because my buddies and I, we always do that.
Perfect. And come to Florida. You'll definitely have a good time for your birthday.
Yeah, Florida is a second home for me, for sure, and a second hub of Wake Up Call, as you all know. And, being at FAU, like I said, I got to I've covered the team the last few years here in you coming into the American, and the decision to come into the American because of my coverage of the American Athletic. And then I got to come down to your campus, see your stadium, be at FAU for the Boca Raton Bowl, and get to experience what it was like to be in that winning in paradise atmosphere for South Florida and Syracuse. What's it like to wake up and be on campus at FAU all the time and to be at that stadium? Because like I said, I got to see it, I got to feel it, but this is your home. So what's that been like?
No, I mean, it's winning in paradise. Well, how we say winning in paradise, it's basically what it means. We're winning in paradise. We're 1.8 miles away from the beach at all times. We're 10 minutes away from the beach. And that's just if there's traffic, 10 minutes. It's amazing. You wake up, you literally smell the ocean when you wake up of how close you are. It's definitely an amazing school to just go to because you're in South Florida, you're in a beautiful Boca Raton town. The campus is beautiful, the stadium is amazing. FAU's a fantastic school.
Do you know O'Brien's?
O'Brien's?
O'Brien's, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, Brian's in an awesome place, so shout out to Brian with that. Now, we're gonna do something called rapid fire,
Okay.
and you never get to ask the questions as a player, typically,
Okay.
right? But you're gonna get to put me on the hot seat. I'm gonna get to put you on the hot seat.
Okay,
Can
good.
be about anything. Could be about football, music, movies, food,
Okay.
whatever we want. You get to ask me the first question. What do you got for me?
Okay. Favorite music?
That's tough now. Old hip hop, like when hip hop was good hip hop, and like I go back and I listen to California. Like if I ask Alexa to play my favorite music, I realized all my hip hop is like I do like some Drake stuff and I do like Kendrick Lamar, but I would say hip hop, and then also there is some country in there, but hip hop and R&B. But like hip hop and R&B from the 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm an 85 kid, so I'm just, the music was better back then.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, Federico, what's your go-to song? Like if you were coming out to a song that was just yours on campus, and every time you ran out on the field they played the song, what would it be?
There's a lot of songs I could pick, but it would probably be a song from Motley Crue.
Motley Crue?
Motley
Okay.
Crue, it's one of my favorite bands. If it's not Motley Crue, it'd be Def Leppard.
Okay.
Or Muse, actually.
Okay.
I've actually got into Muse a little bit. I'll maybe put Knights of Sidonia.
Okay.
Maybe that will be my go-to song, but definitely one of those three: Motley Crue, Def Leppard, or Muse.
I like that. We're both going back in the day for music.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your next one for me?
Favorite place, South Florida.
Oh, boy. Favorite place in South Florida? Well, I got to broadcast from O'Brien's, and I got to do that around the Boca Raton Bowl, so that was actually a really cool experience. But I would say, I mean, I've been all over Florida from Tallahassee to Miami, broadcasted all over. So if it's South Florida, I'm going to pick a beach, and I'm going to say St. Pete Beach is
Okay.
my favorite beach by far, without question. People say Clearwater. I got attacked by a bird in Clearwater, so we're not talking about Clearwater. So I want to say St. Pete Beach.
Okay, so you like the Gulf.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
What is your favorite place to eat in Boca Raton area?
These are tough questions over here.
Yeah. I got your guy Jackson off the air, and he looked up in the air one. I just asked
he
this question.
knows. I mean, if you're talking about wings, you go to Franz. If you're talking about
He agreed, okay.
burgers, you go to Charm City. If you're talking
Agreed.
about
He's the guy. So basically, he's the judge. So if he nods, it's a correct answer. You're 2 for 2 right now. What else you
we're
got?
talking about sushi, Ichiyami Buffet.
He's saying no. Yeah.
Fat Boy, I've actually never gone to Fat Boy, but Ichiyami, Fat Boy, or Bluefin. That's like
Bluefin.
about 20 minutes south.
Okay. Is there a good place for tacos?
You have Rocco's Tacos, but you have Taco Labs, which has Tuesdays unlimited tacos. So you can never go wrong with unlimited tacos.
Oh, I'm talking to a lineman. I got unlimited something, right?
Come on.
All right. What's your last one for me? Last question.
Dang, I'm drawing a blank right now.
We did music. We did food. Anything in the world.
Anything in the world.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm drawing a blank right now. It's you can't tell me to ask you a question because then you can't ask a question because you don't know.
How about go somewhere with like Marvel or DC?
Okay.
Ask me a question.
Okay.
That one.
What's your favorite? What are you, a Marvel or DC fan? I'm gonna judge you on this one.
I'm a Marvel
Okay.
fan.
We're good. Ambush agrees.
I'm a Marvel fan, but I think DC's in good hands with James Gunn.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
my last question for you. All right, tell me something about Ambush that we don't know.
Something about Ambush that we don't know.
Yeah. Like if you put it to you like this. If you had to write a dating profile for Jackson Ambush, what would you put on the profile?
Well, I'm sorry, Ambush. I mean Legos. I mean building some Legos.
Does he
No,
have-
I mean I'm not gonna say that because I like building some.
Does
some
he have
cool,
like a
some cool
Lego Death
sets
Star
too.
in the room? Has he got
A
a
what?
Lego Death Star?
He's
got a Millennium
He does have a
Falcon.
Millennium Falcon.
See?
He did show me. I remember. Hey, but it's
Did
okay.
Coach Herman know about that? The
Hey.
Lego Millennium Falcon.
Hey, don't worry, because I have one too.
You got one
I
too?
have one too. I swear.
All right, well, that coming from Federico, But on his here on Wake Up Call, thank you, sir, for
No,
your
thank
time.
you so much.
My best to FAU this season.
Thank you so much. You too.
Appreciate it. Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of our Travel Heritage Hill studios. I'm here with Jackson Ambush, one of the coolest names in the world, let alone college football, a linebacker for the FAU Owls. Jackson, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing very well. So to be a linebacker with a name like Ambush, seems like that works in your favor when you get after the quarterback, right?
Yeah, I'm extremely blessed with that last name for sure. Yes, sir.
So have you done anything with it, NIL-wise?
Not
Is it for fun?
NIL-wise, just on jerseys and stuff, I guess you could say, but other than that, no.
When you see Ambush, it kind of reminds me of like the old XFL, where they could put, instead of putting their name, they could just put whatever they want to put on there.
Yep.
To be a defensive player with a last name like that, do you have fun with that? Do you trash talk a little bit?
I mean, every now and then, I guess, but like, more so, it's just, I use it for publicity. Everybody attached to the last name, they love it, so, I eat it up as much as I can.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I had the opportunity to speak with Federico and on the offensive line, and you were obviously right off camera listening into that. What can you say about just the level of competition between the offense and the defense on this team, and just what you get in practice at FAU?
Oh, I mean, as productive as trash talking is, it's the productive type, I guess you could say. It's competitive each and every day. It's physical. I mean, there's no days off of us, especially when we're in full pads. I mean, we're going at each other.
Tom Herman being your head coach. We've seen him in a bunch of different places. I met him at Houston, then he went off to Texas. He's obviously spent time in the Big Ten and kind of all over. And to have him as your leader at FAU, what can you say about his leadership style and what you like about him as a leader?
Coach Herm is, he's everything I could ask for as a head coach. I'm blessed to have him. I mean, more than anything, for us to be great football players, making us great men at the end of the day. And, I'll run through fire for that guy. I have his back 100%.
Why?
Just the man he is. He's 100% authentic, and he tells you exactly how it is. He's just a man of his word.
And keeping your word, relationships important. We hear so much from the outside looking in about the enterprise of collegiate athletics, about money, about materials. I've always been a relationship person. It sounds like to you, Tom Herman is too. How important are relationships, especially in today's climate in college athletics?
I mean, it's the most important thing. Like, especially when I transferred to Florida Atlantic, money was the last thing I was worried about. I wanted to have that relationship with a coach and have that connection and someone that could help build me as a man instead of chasing the money that college sports more so like nowadays.
When you transferred, to share with everyone, where did your journey start?
So I started at Albany, University of Albany.
So you're at Albany. I'm from Syracuse.
Okay.
So you're at Albany. You come over to FAU, and then we see Jared Verse go from Albany to Florida State. So two guys from Albany coming down to the great state of Florida. We know his success in getting drafted. What can you say about your time in Albany and how that aided in you having an opportunity at FAU, and just what you think about the Albany program?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, my DCs helped me tremendously. Like, I went in from high school, C-ball, get ball. I did not know, cover 3, cover 2. I just knew cover 4, and that was it. And I got there, and they're like, "So how many people on the line of scrimmage? How this, that, and third?" And I'm like, feels like they're speaking a different language to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they helped develop me as a football player and, as a man, too. And I owe a lot to that program.
Having American right there over your chest, what does that mean to you with conferences and all these conversations about who's power and who's not? Do you consider the American a powerful conference, and what does it mean to wear the A?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the teams, last year, you look at Tulane, who else was in the championship last year?
So Tulane obviously had a great run, UTSA playing until the end. And you look at Uptech Memphis.
Yes, all these teams. You can say Power 5. You can argue all you want, but we got the talent, the same amount of talent as any of these other teams do.
let's jump into rapid fire. You got the first question. What do you got for me?
Your favorite go-to drink?
Oh, my favorite go-to drink. I actually work with Rain, so you will see me, and I tell people all the time, I drink regular water,
Okay.
and I drink Rain, which is obviously works with Monster. So I've had a nice partnership with Rain, and I'm a child, so I drink sour gummy worm, rainbow sherbet.
Is my go-to.
Yeah, so you like Rain too?
Yep.
Okay, so that's your one, rainbow sherbet.
Yep.
All right, I'm sorry I didn't bring one for you
And
today.
creamsicle.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's a good one too. So I would say that's my go-to. What is your go-to meal in Boca Raton?
Okay, go-to meal. I'm gonna have to go to my boy Kevin and Frankie's spot. It's called Talia's, and I'll get chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo?
Yep.
Okay. And it's that specific place. Were you always a chicken Alfredo guy growing up?
Yes,
Okay.
but that's my specific place I'll go to probably once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week. All right. What's your next question for me?
Ooh, you went to Florida. You've been to Florida.
I've been, it's our
Okay.
second. It's my second home personally.
Okay.
And it's the second hub of my company
All right.
as well. So
What is?
a lot of work in Florida.
Oh man, that is a lot. Florida's a lot.
Yeah, I've done everything from I've been Tallahassee all the way down to Miami area. So.
Okay. What's your favorite outdoor activity to do in Florida?
Oh man. So I do like going to Disney. It's changed over the years, not in a great way, but I always like riding rides, and I have been known for going to Epcot and going on Guardians of the Galaxy and then leaving. Like I literally just wanted to do that. It's part of my morning. It's like wake up, get some breakfast, ride Guardians, go about my day.
Okay.
If I could do that every day, I would.
All right.
But I would also say St. Pete Beach. I just am in love with the beach down there in the Tampa area. But in Boca, I'm connecting with O'Brien's and getting to do some live shows down in Boca at O'Brien's Irish Pub. A lot of fun, really great atmosphere. And being in Boca, I can honestly say that spending a few days there for the first time ever this past year and being at your stadium and all that, the connection and the people from New York and kind of like building that small world between New York and Florida, I felt welcome, and I got invited back. So Boca was kind of like I've never been here before, and now I want to go back.
Yep.
So my question back to you is, give me a vacation spot you've never been that you have to go to.
Vacation spot. Ooh, there's two.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Greece,
All right.
or I'm gonna go to Bora Bora.
Okay. Why those two?
Bora Bora, I feel like there's just little huts. I think those are so cool. I'm going to one of those, stay in one of those, and then Greece is just absolutely beautiful.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Last question you got for me.
Does it have to be any question?
Give me anything in the world.
How'd you get into this profession?
I love telling stories. I love making people laugh. And I love sports. I have a photographic memory. So I was collecting cards and flipping to the back, not even realizing I was picking up the stats. And I was like, I'm going to talk about this anyways. I love this. I talk about it at the dinner table. And I'm not afraid of a microphone. I'm not afraid of making a difference. And if there was 1 million people in the room, I am that person that can stand as one person on a stage to 1 million people and have no fear. I call it the 4 steps, as I might have a little bit of that feeling like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and then you hand me the mic at the top of the stairs, that's gone.
Yep.
Then it's just, I got a job to do.
It's like me being on the green. Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing.
I feel that.
So you got a memory like, you ever seen Suits?
Yes.
So you got a memory like that guy.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I watched Suits before anybody was watching it. My dad and I were watching it, and then like people jumped on it on Netflix and all that stuff, and I was just like, wow, I'm happy to see people got the love for it.
Yeah.
My last question for you, Jackson, is what do you consider for you to be, outside of winning a championship in the college football world, what can be a fantastic achievement this year, either on the field or off the field?
For our program?
For you.
For me?
For you personally.
On the field. I mean, All-American, All-Conference. Off the field, impact as many people in my community as I can.
And how do you do that? Do you go out and do things?
Reaching out, with little kids, or try to, just connect with as many people as possible. Coach Herman's really good with that, being in the community.
what do you want to say to not only kids but people of all ages that are going through a tough time, going through some adversity? What do you want to tell them?
You know, something our strength coach always tells us is he's this equation, it's E plus R equals L. There's always going to be an event, but what's your response to get the outcome you want?
Jackson Ambush, go out and see him with the FAU Owls all across the country, and of course down in Boca Raton, Florida. Jackson, my pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
To Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on site, on location in our Travel Heritage Hill studios, and we are here at the AAC kickoff in Arlington, Texas. I am here with no stranger to the broadcast. I've spent many years, their entire time that they've been in the American Athletic Conference. I've had the East Carolina Pirates, and I actually have something to show you guys from head coach Mike Houston. So remind me at the end to show you what I have, because there's a story behind it. So I have Rajay here, I have Savone here as well. So Savone, I'm going to start with you. How many people have said your name right? What's the percentage here, Savone?
Besides my mom and my third grade teacher, well, pretty much my family, I don't know. I can't really give you that.
So I'm going to say this to you right now. You're going to make them remember your name.
Yes.
What are you going to do this season that is going to make sure that we are clear that when Savone is on the field?
Just going to be, I'm a humble guy, so they just got to check it out themselves. They're going to see.
Okay. What do you think would be, outside of winning a championship personally for you, a place of success for you this season, on or off the field?
Really just avoiding all the noise and staying focused on the game, because I had a lot come at me over the past few months.
Yeah.
So really just staying focused on the game and my assignments and the little details.
You talk about you've had a lot come at you. What has been some of that adversity?
I mean, like schools, really the school situation, the transfer portal. Really just like trying to avoid the noise. Like he's gonna be the best player this year and this and that. I mean, it's all good to hear.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still gotta prove myself this season because a lot can change in 1 game, 2 games. It don't matter what it is, but a lot can change. So I'm just focused on the season for real.
Rajay, for you, welcome.
Yes, sir.
So, what is success to you personally this season?
And just being a better version of myself, you know, on the field, off the field, as a father. Just being a better person, man. And I tweet it every day to 1%, just to be a better individual than you were the day before. So I think that'd be big this year for me. Being that great teammate, that great leader in the locker room, man, and just let everybody feed off my energy. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be something key to my success this year.
You said your father.
I am.
How old?
She's 3. Emory.
She's 3.
Emory.
Emory.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to say to Emory today?
Just tell her that dad's working. He's not always home. But I'm grinding for her, and I love her. And one day she'll see this interview, and maybe one day she'll understand.
That made me cry, bro.
So, Savon, for you, Coach Mike Houston, what does he mean to this program? First, what does he mean to this program? Secondly, how does his leadership get through to you?
Just really, just every day he just speaks about like the standards, and we got a very high standard. And you remember how it go in the order?
Not in order, but I know it's like the first couple was like the high character. So we definitely like feed off that. You feel what I'm saying? Because who are you when nobody's watching? You feel what I'm saying? And Coach Houston, man, we can't really express that love that we got for him on camera, or you feel me? But really, we can't just express it. It's just in our heart. You feel what I'm saying? He took a chance on me and
he really took a chance on me because he was the coach that took me out of JUCO and gave me the opportunity to really like prove myself and show my talent on the field.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of schools that took me from what I had out of JUCO.
Yeah.
And Coach Houston pulled me to the side and gave me one-on-one conversation. And it was like, bro, I believe in you.
You didn't have to do that.
You didn't have to do that. He had to pull me to the side because I know a lot of kids don't want the opportunity. And I was one of them out of like 100 kids at that camp.
And what you guys are essentially talking about is the relationship aspect.
Yeah.
We live in a world where realignment has shown that there's not a lot of loyalty.
Yeah.
We've seen in NIL that there's not a lot of loyalty in certain cases. We've seen in the transfer portal that there's not a lot of loyalty. So relationships put us in a place where, in my opinion, and this is how I live my life on and off camera, is that if you build good quality relationships based on trust and based on the reality that you are going to be consistently good, not occasionally great, if relationships can rule the day, do you feel that? Is that why you're at East Carolina? Is it because, Savon, the relationships?
Most definitely. Relationship with the players and the coaches, and I think it starts with the players because if you're comfortable around them, you become around the coaches, and they'll show you, like Rajay. I met Rajay and Big Tay. You know who Big Tay is?
Big Tay?
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
I met them two, and they really showed me around and really opened up to me and really showed me that I can really relate to these people. And to the coaches, like they check up on me every day.
Yeah.
If I need something, they're there.
I can say, during the recruitment process, they was hitting me up every day. It's year 5, man. They still doing the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? So building a relationship with coaches. Coaches not here anymore. Players is not here anymore, man. Lasts a lifetime. You feel what I'm saying? So another thing, I just said loyalty, like what you was talking about. You know, it's easy to go in the portal. It's easy to go to another school, but man, just stick it out with your brothers, man, and go get it out the mud, because it's gonna feel better when the sun shines. You know, go. You know, so I go through the 2-10 season with my brothers, and then you feel me, I flourish the next season. You feel me? So sticking around with them, man, it ain't nothing hard, man. You feel what I'm saying? You don't learn who this person is from, you know, a freshman to a senior, or freshmen coming in, you learn who they is, and transfers coming in, and just everybody buying into that one common goal. If we can do that, we'll be special.
Why is Mike Houston the right guy to lead this team, Rajay?
You can just see how the way he leads his family. You know what I'm saying? He brings his family here every day. His wife, you can tell that he's respectful on and off the field of her. For the team aspect, man, why wouldn't you want Mike Houston to lead your team? You know what I'm saying? that could be a question I ask you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's the type person, like, and you know, like, he's the type person that you just want to be around. You feel what I'm saying? On game day, oh my gosh, it's electric.
Oh, yeah.
He walks in the meeting room, his face is red, and he run through a brick wall. You feel what I'm saying? So it just make you want to play for somebody like that. You feel what I'm saying? That energy, that vibe that he gets off, and it's gonna rub off on you, of course. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I want to play for Coach Houston. You feel what I'm saying? Just that vibe and that energy that you get from him, man. Just
Savone, for you, can you go back to a moment, to a speech, or even just the way that he goes about it? Is there something that sticks out to you of a Mike Houston moment that you're just like, wow, that made me literally want to not take the tunnel and just go right through the wall?
Man, it's not even what he said. It's just how he say it. Yeah. It's how he say it. And, you know, he's so determined. And he really mean what he say. And I can't think of a specific time. Let me see.
Every game day.
Yeah, basically every game day when that highlight, that hype video come on, we know what's gonna happen. Like
the way he talking,
second half of the game.
Yeah, he's a good halftime adjuster.
Oh, yeah. Like we could be down 30-0. Bro, I'm telling you, like, it's the same.
30-0. We still coming. It's looking so serious.
I want you to, Savone, can you reach that black sweatshirt right there? Yeah.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
So I am gonna show this to you guys. Now my luggage, which is off camera here, that's all new, because my luggage was left in Detroit in this great issue that we've been having with the airline. So I got down here on Sunday, supposed to get down here at 10 a.m., got down here at 11 p.m., was up for almost 24 hours, and then had to go buy a whole new wardrobe thanks to a wonderful driver, total stranger, Jen, picked me up from the airport Sunday. Monday, she goes, whatever you need, you call me up outside of Uber, call me, and I'll drive you, and we'll get your clothes, we'll get you set up. I had two things with me to wear. I had my American Athletic t-shirt,
you had your pirate.
and I had this.
Yeah, you got. Hey, that's all you need. That's all I need.
This is what I had. So this is what I was rocking down in Arlington, Texas. And I got to say that not only did I get this, but I got a nice message from Mike Houston. And I can echo your sentiments that he has been an absolute treasure to me and an honor to speak with. And our interaction, our relationship outside of the camera and outside of the microphone has been fantastic. And there's a lot of people that want one of these now that they see me wearing it. So let me jump into rapid fire. We get to put each other on the hot seat. It could be football related or anything. And Savone, you get to ask me the first question.
Ooh. Let me see. That caught me off guard, though. Can we ask him a question?
You want to ask him a question?
Yeah, ask him a question.
Okay. So think about the one for me, but go ahead and ask. You want me to ask him or you want to ask him?
I was going to ask him something.
Yeah, go ahead, Savone.
Hey, like, to be real with you, look at me when I'm talking. I'm going to ask the question later. I ain't going to ask you now. Okay, so like, who is your ideal like NFL team right now?
My team?
Yeah.
My team has been my team from their institution. I was 9 years old, 1995, the Jacksonville Jaguars, without question.
As long as you don't say the Cowboys, because Houston don't get mad.
Yeah, they are my second favorite.
Who?
Dallas, yes, they are my second favorite team. So.
Don't let my mom hear.
So who does your mom like?
Cowboys.
Your mom likes Cowboys. Who do you like? This is not my question.
I'm a 49.
You're 49. Both of you.
And my dad a Cowboys fan.
I will tell you this, the San Francisco 49ers, doesn't matter where they're seated or the Cowboys are seated at, they are killing the Cowboys in recent history.
As long as you say it again.
He said it, I ain't said
in recent history.
He said it,
They're killing them. They're killing them. I mean, it doesn't matter. And then I was like, okay, you don't have the 49ers for the third year in a row. You got the Packers, take care of business. You're here in Arlington. And it was done in the first quarter.
Yes.
I was like, I can't even watch this game. I looked at my dad. We were actually putting together a desk for my studio, one of those Rise desks. And I looked at my dad, and I was like, every time I heard cheering, I'm thinking they're in Arlington. It's got to be the Cowboys. It was Green Bay fans. And I looked at him. I said, after 3 possessions, I can't watch this game anymore.
Can't watch.
So, Dak, I have been supporting you. Please.
Bring it home, huh?
Fly away, man. So my question back to you. I want to go to food. if I'm out in East Carolina country, right? Where am I eating and why?
Ooh. I'll say Nukes. I can't even say Nukes no more. They just moved that restaurant. I'll say Yaba. A lot of people don't like Yaba. It's a Mediterranean spot.
Mediterranean spot?
You
Okay.
get to choose what you. It's like kind of like so you get to choose what you want to put on your wrap or
Okay.
on your tray and everything. But it's pretty good to me. I like natural fruit, like fresh food. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I don't know. That's what you like.
No, I can respect that for sure. And I like being able to make a different choice when you go in.
Definitely.
All right, Rajay, what's your first question for me?
How much that watch cost you got
Oh, my Lord.
I'll take it out.
Can't hide it.
So it's an Invicta watch. So what I did was they were doing a deal that if you bought a certain amount of them, you got the rest with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
What you had to buy?
you had to buy 2 outright full price to get the other ones. So I will tell you that the watches range.
You gotta tell me.
They range, but I will say that I was fiscally responsible in what I chose, and I didn't choose the $1,000 ones. But these watches are crazy looking. I have a Thanos one, which is one of my favorites.
That's hard. I know that's
Oh
hard.
yeah,
Like Marvel.
all about Marvel.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
DC.
So
Yeah.
you're DC all day.
Yeah, DC all day.
Okay,
I'm the
so
Hulk, whatever he is.
He's
so
softened up now.
Rajay, I'm gonna bring this back to you here. I've been waiting for the Red Hulk to show up in a Marvel movie for over a decade.
It's not
And William Hurt passed away, who was General Thunderbolt Ross, Thaddeus Ross. Now, Harrison Ford is Thaddeus Ross, and the Red Hulk is coming in Captain America 4, which is Captain America Brave New World. You said you were a fan of the Hulk. Is it time to have a World War Hulk movie? And do we need to have Red Hulk, the regular Hulk, and She-Hulk?
At least have the regular Hulk in there.
Okay.
At least have the regular Hulk. But yeah, go ahead and do it. Why not? Shoot, we're doing Captain America and Iron Man and stuff like that, so we might as well.
I don't know. I got second thoughts about that.
Oh,
As soft, bro, as soft as they done made the Hulk, bro. Like,
I agree.
he wearing glasses now.
I used to watch the Hulk one like he was the human.
That's the real one, you know?
Lou Ferrigno, the TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
what was your favorite Hulk? I know it's not the Marvel Hulk. It can't be.
My favorite Hulk, so there's Lou Ferrigno, the TV show, there's Eric Bana, there's Ed Norton, and there's Mark Ruffalo. I don't think you can ever take away from Lou Ferrigno and what he did on the TV show. And the fact that my parents let me watch that show, which I don't think that they knew I was watching because I turned it down when he was screaming in the beginning. And my mom's like, "What are you watching?" She sees like the green eye, and I was like 8 years old or whatever. And my mom's like, "What are you?" I was like, "Oh my, it's fine. I'll just watch this show." Yeah. So I would say him, but if I had to pick a Marvel of the 3, it would be Ed Norton because I just think that his take on the character was really awesome. And trying not to use it. But Mark Ruffalo, the thing that he said, and this is what I tell people all the time because I've been tired since 2001, but I just keep working, keep going, and that's just me. So Mark Ruffalo, I love the line in the first Avengers movie where he looks at Black Widow and he goes, "You want to know my secret? I'm always angry." And that's how he could turn back and forth.
That was hard, though.
They was in the street.
That was
Yeah.
hard,
He
though.
said, "Oh, it's
That
a good
was
time
hard.
for you to get angry." He turned back and I'm always angry.
Yeah, so I love that. So, Savon, you get to ask me the second. I'm not going to count what you just asked as a question. So, what's your second? Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, like, what if you was to travel? Not travel, but like take your family somewhere and travel. Like, what would be your ideal place?
I want to take my parents to Italy to see Naples and Calabria, where my family's from.
Okay.
And we're from southern Italy. So,
You were born in?
so no, I was born in New York, but I mean, my skin always stays somewhat tan, but Florida's our second home. I get very, very dark.
Yeah.
Like, we get very dark. So I tell people, I say, there's white, there's black, and there's tinted.
Yeah.
And I'm tinted. So I live in the tinted world.
I heard that.
So I will say one of my favorite things is when I was in Charlotte, my Uber driver, it's a woman from Africa, and I said to her, I was like, "I do comedy, we're total strangers, I'm going to throw at you a bunch of stuff, and if you laugh, great, if you don't, fine." And we were in the line for Zaxby's, because we don't have that in New York, and she took me to Zaxby's, and she looked in the rearview mirror while we were in the drive-thru, and she goes, "You know what I'm going to call you? my caramel Kevin Hart.
Oh,
And I said, I'll take that.
I take that every day.
I'll take that every day.
You only speak English? Can you speak any other language?
I can speak Spanish. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
So I know a little bit of Italian, and I can speak Spanish. My question back to you, Savone. So I would go to Italy and Spain to see my family. My question back to you, Savone, is if you were running this year for president, and it's not too late, please do it. But if you were running for president this year, who would be your vice presidential pick from your teammates at East Carolina?
Ooh. Yeah, think about somebody smart.
You got a nice dress one here.
See, he here, so I'm not gonna say it.
Okay,
First
all right.
choice, but I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't Josh Murphy. That's my guy. Murphy. Bro, I'm telling you.
I might take Murphy.
I might take Murphy, bro.
All right.
Josh Murphy.
Why Murphy? Why would you take him?
I mean, like, he know a lot. He know a lot. So, like, he know a lot. I mean, game day, he know what the defense is running. I promise you. He's gonna.
Okay. All right, you take him.
Mm-hmm.
So what job would you give to Rajay on your staff? Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of State.
I don't think I have Rajay with me. Sorry.
What?
So he's just just a civilian. Okay. Rajay, what's your last question for me?
My last question. What's your why?
My why?
Your why?
God.
Mm-hmm.
God.
That's the simple answer.
Everything. Put it on God. People ask me, how did I start my business? 26 years old, 27 cents in my pocket, $103 in my bank account, living with my grandmother, taking care of her because she took care of me my whole life, and I wanted her to be able to live at home. Best decision I made in my life.
Yeah.
So people say, how did you start your business? And I literally say that God, and my answer never changes. God and I in the trenches, taking the air in front of us and molding nothing to people into something that's tangible and real.
Yeah.
God is my why. God is my everyday. I do not exist without him.
Yeah.
I think the media world's absence of God has made a lot of people not trust the media. And it is my duty and my life's mission that while I'm here and hopefully beyond while I'm here, my legacy is that we can instill trust within media and with people, and that God will be back at the forefront of this country, because taking him out of the forefront has shown you the outrageous decline in the United States of America.
I agree 100%.
My question back to you, Rajay, is if you were running for president, I want to know your campaign slogan that you would put on banners, and I want to know the person that you would hire to be your Secretary of Defense.
Not the person beside you. What I put on banners would be probably 1%. Be a better version of yourself.
Okay.
Who would I hire?
To be your Secretary of Defense, because you're a running back, he's a corner. So who's your Secretary of Defense if it's not going to be Savone? And I understand why you didn't pick him, because he didn't even put you on the staff as the press secretary. He didn't put you on staff as anything. Nothing. Not even as like the custodian or the cafeteria worker.
Hey, man, put me up. Hey, why y'all don't like that?
Nah, I don't want to hear that. I'll probably take one of my linemen. I'll probably take Parker Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Parker. I'm definitely not taking no dude named Savon. I'll take Parker. I'll take the whole line if I could.
Your whole life you could.
Yeah, if I could. I'm taking you. I don't know why you keep looking.
Hey,
well, I will say this. Our border needs a little more protection.
Yeah.
And your line protects you, right? So maybe they could go stand down there in Texas, right?
We might do it. Yeah, that thing's on now. Let's give it up.
I like that. So for Savone, for Rajay, for the East Carolina Pirates, for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, coming to you from the AAC kickoff. You two gentlemen have been an absolute pleasure. And now, when I wear that sweatshirt, it's not just for Mike Houston, it's for two more people in a long line that I've gotten to meet. And by the way, East Carolina has had a slew of incredible student athletes and just really good men through this football program. And I want to let you know and give him a shout out, being a Jaguar fan. Ton of conversations about God, and somebody who went beyond the extra mile, Zay Jones. And Zay didn't know that I have a knee injury. I had a knee injury on and off, and it was bugging me last season. And Jacksonville, incredible locker room. I've covered the team on-site on location for the better part of 13, hopefully 14 years now. And Zay, they got their own leather chairs, Jaguars logo, all that stuff. He's sitting at his locker, and he looked at me, not knowing anything that was going on, not knowing what was bothering me with my knee. And he said, "Hey, man," he goes, "pull up a chair." I said, "For real?" He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Pull up a chair, sit." And so we sat and we talked to each other, and there was another guy that was waiting to do an interview, and to let me know when I was leaving that he appreciated me again. He hit my leg like, "Hey, I appreciate that." I went over to him after the fact, and I said, "Zay, I got to tell you something." I said, "You being a man of God, we talk about God a lot, talk about our faith. I appreciate that. But I said, you helped me out of the kindness of your heart after a game. You didn't have to help me. You didn't have to go the extra mile. You didn't even know that my knee is bothering me. And at a day where I was thinking about a lot of things, I was letting adversity kind of get in my head. And I just was tired, and I was frustrated, and I didn't want my knee to feel the way that it was feeling. I said, what you did for me out of the kindness of your heart, not even knowing what was going on in my life, proves to me that there's good people in this world. He looked at me, he touched his chest, and he was like, "For real?" And I said, "Yeah." So when you wonder if Zay Jones is a good man, he's a great man.
He's a great one. He's a pirate.
So, with that being said, support your Pirates. You know what it is. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
Thank you,
Simone. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the tastes of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. Folks, listen, when it comes to going out there and doing something fun for yourself, something exciting, something that can span the test of time, something you can hand down to someone else later on in your life, sports cards and trading cards are a great way to tell a story, and it's a great way to kind of keep that going. I remember my Uncle Bill, who's up in heaven now, gave me his gold-plated collection with Babe Ruth and company, and gave that to me, and that sits in my studio. Nolan Ryan, given to me by him, sits in my studio, as well as, you know, Josh and Anthony gave me a really cool card that they came up with an idea for and did something special for Easter, and that sits in the studio here, as well as so many other pieces, gifts from people that I've gotten over time, trades that I've made, cards that I love, my Caitlin Clark card that's over my left shoulder during the show. These cards tell a story. And it's special, it's unique, and it brings a community of people together, and people that would have never met each other. And in a world that so deeply needs to come together, so deeply needs to have that positive connection, GG Cards and Breaks creates those connections every week, Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. And every month with GG Cards and Breaks Trade Night, they give us an opportunity of all different ages to come together and talk to each other and buy and sell and trade from each other, buy from the store as well. And their upcoming trade night is going to be tomorrow. So I will be there. I hope you'll be there. Thursday, August 15th, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. We will see you from 6:30 to 9:30. So you can actually go to the store tomorrow during the day between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., and then you could go right back for trade night. So Thursday, August 15th, trade night with the community, all different ages, people that have never collected cards, just starting to collect, have collected for many years, people that like basketball, football, baseball, soccer, Pokemon, so on and so forth. Everyone is welcome. GG Cards and Breaks Trade Night this Thursday, August 15th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. We look forward to seeing you out there. Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're on site, on location in our Travel Heritage Hill studios right here at the AAC kickoff. You know that we've covered the American Athletic Conference before there was a name and a logo for this conference. I want to thank Mike Oresco, Chuck Sullivan, and everyone at the AAC for their constant support and their availability. And of course, being down here in Arlington, Texas, I feel very spoiled. The food is good, the atmosphere is great, and I like being down in the Lone Star State. These gentlemen know the Lone Star State very well. UTSA, the Roadrunners. I'm here with Oscar and Jamal. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good.
Good to have you here.
Sure.
So, absolutely. So, I spoke with you a little bit off the air about Coach. Coach asked me if he could be a broadcaster. If him and I have a future potentially working together. I'm going to start with you, Oscar. Do you think your head coach, Jeff Traylor, could hang in the broadcasting world?
I say yes.
Okay.
Only if he loosens up a lot.
Only if he loosens up.
If
Okay.
he's starting to get a little strict, starting to get a little tight, probably won't work out.
So you think he needs? How does he loosen up? How can you get him to be a little more himself?
You just gotta start joking around with him.
Yeah.
Just maybe talk about some golf first.
Some golf. Okay. So I feel like I got him to loosen up a little bit here, but I didn't know the golf side. Why golf for him? Did you talk about it a lot?
Yeah, one time we were having meetings and then we only had a 30-minute meeting. He came in here and with 15 minutes to spare, we just started talking about golf the whole time.
Okay.
So we kind of got carried away a little bit. We were late for a stretch.
So you were talking with him about golf.
And
you're a big golfer?
I try to when I can. It's kind of hard.
Who, if you could pick anyone in today's world of golf, from Bryson to Xander to Rory and so on and so forth, and Scotty, who would you pick?
For what?
If you were going to be in tandem with someone, you got a duo out there, who would you want to be your partner?
Scotty Scheffler.
Why?
Because he's won
Because he can get out of trouble. So.
He's just getting 7 this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If not him, I don't know.
Rory. Okay. I want to see Rory win.
I know he needs one.
Jamal, how are you?
Good.
So, enjoying the ice.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you here. So, of all of the teams that you can play in the American, you got the ice in your hand. Putting a team on ice means that you took care of them. Do you circle anybody on the schedule?
Nah.
No?
Not putting them on ice.
You don't feel that there's any. Is there any rivalry feel? Is there any team that you feel like this is just like a bigger game for you?
For sure. UNT, Army. I said earlier, I feel like the Army UTSA games, they're starting to build a little rivalry.
They've been good.
Yeah.
They've been really good. Those games seem like they're fiery. You said Tulane.
Yeah.
Why?
Only because last year, we didn't give them our best. And I know if we play our best, we can pretty much beat anybody there is.
You said North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Why North Texas?
Well, we just always been at it with them.
Big rivalry. It's always a good game with them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it is.
And UTSA has had some fun recent history with Army, but now they're in the conference.
Yeah, right.
So, Jamal, bring me into what that means, that there's going to be a consistency of UTSA and Army facing off against each other on the road for you guys, at home for you guys, just what that means.
Man, having them in the conference, man, is going to be interesting to
Just
see
gonna-
how everything pans
There's a
out.
fly, ridiculous fly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how everything pans out and how it looks, how everybody else looks playing them. So,
What about for you, Oscar, for the Army matchup, knowing that there's going to be more consistency?
I will say, we've been playing. I think we played them 4 to 5 years that Chris Riley's been here, and it's just going to be a little bit more heavier just because it's a conference game now. So it'll be a little bit more aggressive probably, but it's always a good game with Army too.
I heard that San Antonio is a great place for food. I've been in different parts of Texas. I've yet to be in San Antonio. I'm hoping to make a change on saying yet to be there because your VP for Intercollegiate Athletics, Lisa Campos, and I have a great relationship, and I see San Antonio in my not too distant future. Where's the best place to eat in San Antonio, Oscar?
Man,
I heard there's a lot of different.
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many places you can go eat. You can go to South Side, North Side, downtown. I will say downtown. I just had again Pinkerton's barbecue.
Okay.
Some of the best ribs you'll ever have.
Best ribs at Pinkerton's.
Pinkerton's downtown.
I'd rather go with another barbecue place. This place called Blue Pit.
Blue Pig?
Blue Pit.
Blue Pit, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they sell these like brisket grilled cheese sandwiches, bro. It's so good.
Yeah, talk about ribs and brisket, and you're speaking my language. I was born in New York, in upstate New York, in Syracuse, and I tell people to this day, I think that half of me was born in the South because of the food, music. I like a lot of different types of music, but there's definitely something about the food and the culture. And as a single man in society, I could say there's a big difference between a woman talking to me in a New York accent and a woman talking to me with a Southern accent. There's a difference between how you doing, Dan, and how you doing, Daniel. Yeah, when I hear that, I am lost. So I'm lost. It's so easy. That's how you mesmerize me. Yeah. So, Jamal, for you, being a part of the Roadrunners, there was a time where the school was deciding, the student body was deciding between being called the Armadillos or the Roadrunners. What are your thoughts on the fact that they chose Roadrunner over Armadillo?
Best decision they possibly could ever
I agree. Oscar, you knew about it, right? Because Jamal, you didn't know. We were just talking about it off the air. So you knew that that was up for debate. Thoughts on the fact that you were almost an armadillo?
Oh, that would have been terrible. We would have just been called roadkill our whole football career, so I appreciate whoever made that decision.
Yeah, by the way, the Roadrunner, according to Warner Brothers, if you've ever watched the cartoon, the Roadrunner is undefeated.
He is.
So, never loses. Y'all are fast as all get out. So, there's a lot to be said about that.
Sounds like it's perfectly good with us.
Yeah, it's and there's nobody that's taking that name, right? There's a bunch of tigers, there's a bunch of owls, there's certain mascots that we see all throughout, but we never see another Roadrunner.
Right.
So for you to don this UTSA jersey, and proudly, in a world of NIL, transfer portal, realignment, there's a million things happening in collegiate athletics that were not happening as realignment was happening, but not to the point where there's 2,300 miles between conference foes and NIL, college free agency with the transfer portal. Why, Oscar, do you stay committed to UTSA?
We have a coach that cares about us. I mean, it's told everyone else that we've only had 3 guys leave because of NIL issues. So I mean, without that, they wouldn't have lost. I mean, they wouldn't have left, and that should say enough for Coach Jaro that he's just a down to earth guy, and he knows what he's doing. He can coach football, and he can also be your father figure. He can be your friend, whatever it is.
I love that, and I appreciate that, and I agree, because I know how important relationships are to Coach Traylor. Jamal, what would you say about why you stay committed to UTSA?
Man, when I did commit, man, I just knew this was a family-oriented place. I knew who Coach Traylor was. So, man, it hasn't changed. And, man, my brothers, man, coaches, man, everything UTSA is, it's not worth it for me to leave.
Why?
Man, camaraderie, man, like Oscar said, man, you can't buy that with money. So, think about it like that, it's no brainer for me. So,
Oscar, the tight end position, not as glorified of a position as other positions. There are guys in the NFL that are helping to elevate that. I've always respected the tight end because there's so many great ones. What can you say about playing the position and why you value being in a place where you can be an extension of the O-line and at the same time you can also be a threat?
Yeah, I've always said that if besides the quarterbacks, it's one of the hardest positions on the field. That being said, you got to do both. You have to go block 300-pound D linemen, and you have to go route run against 150-pound cornerbacks or something like that. You got to be able to be agile. You got to have speed. You got to be strong. It's just a different type of, it's a unique position that not very many people can do. And if you can, you need to work at it as much as you can, like we do.
Jamal, you're a linebacker. What can you say about being able to play within the middle of this defense and just what life as a linebacker has meant to you, how you would describe your specific role, and if it's something that you always saw yourself doing when you were little? Did you like going out there and getting to hit somebody? Was that always a preference? Because when you hear people growing up and a ton of people want to play quarterback, people want to be on the offensive side of the ball, being on the defensive side, why did that call to you, and just how you would describe being a linebacker?
Man, so in high school, I actually played tight end because that was my starting position. Yeah, I stayed tight end, man, but I was doing good on the defensive side of the ball too, and that's why I really had the most fun at. So getting to college, man, and it gave me like the option, like, you want to play tight end, linebacker. And for me, man, I had to go with linebacker. Now, I honestly came in as an outside linebacker. So, man, Coach Nix, one of my good men, he moved me to middle linebacker. And I guess he seen something in me that I ain't see, but ever since then, it's felt good, it's felt natural. And I worked to be good at that position. So,
you're the quarterback of the defense, essentially. How have you grown in that leadership role?
Man, it took some making mistakes. You know, it takes messing up so you can learn from it, and man, just being dedicated to that role.
We're going to play rapid fire. We get to put each other on the hot seat and have some fun with this. Jamal, you get to ask me the first question.
First question.
Could be anything in the world. Doesn't have to be football. Can be football.
What you watching right now?
Good question. I am watching The Boys on Amazon Prime, which is a fantastic show.
For real, that's a great show.
Yeah, so I'm watching The Boys. I almost brought my T-shirt down, and thank God I didn't, because the airlines have not given me my bag in 3 days, so I wouldn't have had the shirt, even if I had the shirt. So I had to buy all new stuff to be down here. But
so you're the one that was late yesterday.
Yeah, I was late. Yeah, because we were supposed to do something yesterday. Yeah. So I wasn't late. I got in. So I was supposed to get in Sunday at 10 a.m. I got in at 11 p.m. 13 hours later. The Uber driver, total stranger that I had down here, Jen, she gave me her card. She said, "Hey, whatever you need, you let me know." And so outside of Uber, I called her up, and she was like, "I'm going to take you wherever you need to go, and we're going to get you some clothes, get you a wardrobe, get you set up." So I was here a day early, had everything planned, and then because we had to go out and get a new wardrobe yesterday, that's why I was behind schedule. But thanks to her, she took me out for a couple hours, got me food, showed me around. I got a whole new wardrobe, and that's why y'all are sitting with me a little bit later. But it's thanks to the Good Samaritanship of Jen.
What a gal.
Shout out, Jen.
Yeah, I got to shout her out. So I would definitely say thank you for that. So I'm watching the boys. I'm watching.
Receivers?
What did you say?
Receivers on Netflix?
I have. So my Netflix, I share it. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, sometimes. You didn't hear that Netflix. So, but I'm gonna say I'm probably staying really true to the boys right now, and I want to get into the Game of Thrones spin-off because I haven't watched that one yet, which is in season House of the Dragon. I haven't watched it yet, but I plan on doing that. My question back to you, Jamal: if you could jump into any world of a TV show that you're watching, what world would you jump into and why?
Definitely not the boys. I tell you that.
Agreed.
I'm kind of watching YouTube right now. Man. You ever heard of RP?
I have not.
It's like GTA, but they like role play.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I jump in that. I jump in a little video game.
Okay. All right. I feel that. We're gonna have to get you on our YouTube channel as well. Well, this is actually gonna be there. So, all right, Oscar, what's your first question for me?
If you didn't do this podcast, what would you be doing now?
There's a few things I'm working on. So screenwriting, stand-up comedy, because I just like making people laugh, and I put that in my show all the time. We do a segment called The Annoying Moment of the Week. Like, we have a lot of fun with that stuff. So I would say probably comedy or screenwriting, and working a little bit on my music too.
Music?
Yeah.
What kind of music?
It's kind of like, I would say my voice probably lives somewhere in like the classic rock world.
Okay.
So I'm inspired by R&B, I'm inspired by hip hop, I'm inspired by country, I'm inspired by classic rock. So
you said you like all type of music.
yeah, so it kind of bonds a lot of that. My question back to you, Oscar, is who's the greatest tight end of all time and why?
There's so many. Like I said, they're all unique. You know what I mean? Like Jason Witten, he just caught the ball. I mean, he wasn't a big.
Right down the street.
Yeah. Travis Kelce, he's known for his routes. George Kittle, he's known for routes and blocking. Mark Andrews, a little bit of both too.
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Another guy.
Yeah. Aaron Hernandez, he would have been dude. I'm just saying. But I don't know. That's a really tough question. I mean, I guess I could say.
Jamal didn't expect to hear the words Aaron Hernandez on today's wake up call.
You can't. I know. There's some things that.
Yes, he had talent. He had talent in Florida. He had talent in the NFL.
Dude was kind of messed up, but he could play. I guess I'd have to say George Kittle.
Okay. I can rock with that.
And why? Because he does it both. He's not just receiving tight end. He's not just a blocking tight end. He can do it both.
I can appreciate that. We got one more round, Jamal. Give me your last question.
Shoot. Man.
You got one? All right. You think about yours. Go ahead.
If you could go back into college and play football, who would you play for?
Oh man, this is a hard question. So my hometown is Syracuse, New York. I'd be hard pressed to turn down my hometown. So I'd probably end up playing for my hometown because I've been so big on recruiting locally, and unfortunately we had coaches that did not value the local community. Now Fran Brown he's offered a lot of guys that have committed, so I would be hard pressed to say no to my home, especially with how much I bang the drum about supporting local. So I'm going to pick my hometown. Yeah, my question back to you, Oscar. All right, you are going to be president of the United States. One of your teammates can be your vice president. Who are you running with and why?
Well, since I don't know anything about politics.
Which is probably the best president we could have.
I have to go with someone. Honestly, I think I'd do DeAndre Marshall.
Okay.
Only because he is a huge history racer.
Okay.
That's his major, that's what he does, and he just knows it all.
And if you don't know where you've been, you have no idea where you're going.
Oh, yeah.
So that'd be good. All right, I like that answer. Jamal, you got your question?
Yeah. So when you're not doing everything else, like how do you wind down? Like what do you do when you chilling?
Honestly, so there's 4 things that I could shut my brain off. Playing basketball. Honestly, washing dishes. I have a dishwasher. I've been in my house for over 8 years. I don't know, and I know people say it's easy. I don't know how to use a dishwasher because I wash by hand because I shut my brain off. So I'd say wash the dishes, I wind down, shut my brain off. Cooking, I love to cook.
Yeah.
And then working on my music and playing basketball. But I would say the easiest answer would have to be for somebody who speaks for a living. People are like, oh, you're probably like, you're talking and doing all this stuff. I said, no, when I go home, I love getting in bed, picking up my dog Lily, putting her in the bed, and just turning something funny on and just winding. I got to watch something funny before I go to bed. So it's usually just kind of sitting in silence, hanging out with my dog.
I feel like if I were to watch something funny, I wouldn't go to bed.
Oh no, I love making people laugh. So I like the challenge. I mean, Robin Williams is like an all-time great to me. But my bucket list that I have, the one that's almost completely done is comedians. I've seen George Lopez. I saw Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's older brother before he passed, who was on Chappelle's show. I saw Dave Chappelle. I saw Kevin Hart, Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, Joe Coy. I'm missing people. Who else did I see? I am hopefully bringing my dad to see Sebastian Maniscalco. But yeah, I mean, I've seen almost every comedian I've ever wanted to see. And seeing George Lopez, Chappelle, I mean, these guys are kings. I would have loved to have seen Bernie Mac, but I became a Bernie Mac fan toward the end of his life. And he passed away at 50, I mean, way too soon. But Bernie Mac is amazing. And we need his, like, real politically incorrect, like his comedy about, like, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Bernie's just, and I still to this day, my buddy Isaac and I, we're like brothers. And when someone's talking to us about something that they don't know about, or we're not getting into that topic with them, we always end up saying to each other, whoever says it first, like, I don't know NATO, you don't know NATO, we don't talk about people we don't know. And that's from Head of State with Bernie Mac. So if you haven't seen it, watch it.
We watch Bernie Mac during fall camp. Like if we're just watching or eating lunch or something, we just put it on.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing ever.
Those are the good videos to send to people, especially when it's like the middle of the day, middle of the night, you just want to get a laugh.
Yeah.
So Jamal, my question back to you, let's stick with comedy.
Okay.
If we were on a tour bus, the 3 of us, and we were touring with 3 comedians currently alive, which comedians would we go on tour with?
Cat Williams.
Okay. That man is just airing everybody's dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Like for real though. But he has a great, one of the greatest things that he has is on like My Greatest Hits stuff, is when he talks about why are you mad that people hate you? And he was like, you need more hate. If you got this many people, you need to work to get this many. And if there's somebody in the room that has nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. And he's like asking for people to hate on him and really turning it back on those people and making adversity a good thing. So I respect that about Kat. So, all right, Kat.
Theo Vaughn.
Okay. Theo Vaughn, that's an interesting pick. I say it's interesting because I don't think anyone's ever picked that on the show.
Yeah.
So Theo Vaughn, he was the guy that was on Real World, Road Rules.
Shit, if I know. I mean,
I don't know. Oh, you're good. You're good. We're on the internet. That's okay. So, and who's your last one?
Oh, man. Go Drewski.
Drewski.
He's just funny. He's just funny. I don't even think he's a comedian. He's just funny.
Okay. Fair enough. So that being said, for Oscar and Jamal, for UTSA and the Roadrunners in general, we appreciate you being here with us here on Wake Up Call at the AAC kickoff, and we look forward to seeing you out in San Antonio in support of UTSA and on the road. Jamal, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Oscar, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
We'll talk with you all soon. Be safe. That coming once again from UTSA, the Roadrunners. So specials here with the Temple Owls today, the FAU Owls, the ECU for East Carolina Pirates, and the UTSA Roadrunners, all inside of my coverage of the American Athletic Conference. And that concludes all of our conversations with the American coming from the AAC kickoff and beforehand. So I want to thank all of the wonderful student athletes and coaches. Of course, there's going to be more to come throughout the season, but we were able to bring you so many specials, and they're available to you on our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, you will also find the AAC playlist, which is for the American Athletic Conference, and the AAC playlist has a ton on it for you folks. I want to just give you a little taste of what's on there. So you're going to find our conversations that you saw today with Federico as well as Jackson from FAU, our conversations that you got with UTSA just now with Jamal and Oscar, with ECU with Rajay and Savone, and with Temple with Demeric as well as Dante. And then you have my most recent conversation with the new commissioner of the American heading into his first competition time as the commissioner, because he became the commissioner coming out of the end of last year's sports, so going into football. So my most recent conversation with AAC Commissioner Tim Pernetti. You'll also see my conversation with North Texas Mean Green head football coach Eric Morris. You'll see my sit down with Lisa Campos, the UTSA VP for Intercollegiate Athletics, as well as the head coach of UTSA, Jeff Traylor, who we spoke about today with his student-athletes just now. You'll see head coach of the Temple Owls football team, Stan Drayton. You'll see the head coach of the Memphis Tigers, Ryan Silverfield. You'll see I've been waiting a long time to do anything with Army, and Army head football coach Jeff Munkin. You'll see that one-on-one. You'll see my one-on-one with John Summerall, the new head coach of the Tulane Green Wave. Tom Herman, who I spent so much time with when he was at Houston, inside of the American, leading the Cougars and helping the Cougars to have success right off the bat in the first ever American Athletic Football Championship game, which was played down at Houston Stadium. And I was there for that. It was actually on the day that Dino Babers was hired as the was announced as the Syracuse football head coach, or that I found out about it or had some confirmation about it. FAU Owls head coach Tom Herman. So we got to reconnect after all these years with Houston. We got to sit down with each other, and as a conversation that means a ton to me. You'll also see my conversation with somebody I have a very close relationship with, Trent Dilfer of UAB, the head football coach of the Blazers going into year 2 there. Mike Bloomgren, who I've spent time with and have a great relationship with, the head coach of the Rice Owls. Of course, my awesome bond with Brian Newberry, the head coach of the Navy Midshipmen football team. So a lot of great stuff
that you'll see, as well as another great relationships with Alex Golish, South Florida Bulls head football coach down in Tampa. My incredible bond with Mike Houston of the East Carolina Pirates. You heard from his student athletes today. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane head coach Kevin Wilson and our bond. So you're going to get all of that and more by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and look for the AAC playlist, and you'll see all of those there and more that we've done throughout history. So I want to thank everyone that's been great to us from the American Athletic Conference. I want to thank the incredible SIDs that are great communicators and work out schedules and are wonderful. I want to thank the head coaches. I want to thank the ADs and VPs for intercollegiate athletics. Of course, I want to thank the leadership at these schools in general, the athletic communications department in general, and of course the student athletes and the head coaches, and of course Tim Pernetti and Chuck Sullivan and everybody at the American. So, with that being said, big time shout out to all involved, and of course a big time shout out to Jaro Zawislan and Moyne College, and a big thanks to their department, interim athletics director Mike Lindberg, as well as SID Craig Lane, Mike, and everyone that helps out there. Just want to give a special thanks to everybody that Mike and James and so on and so forth that are working hard there and have worked with me to get some things done at Moyne. I appreciate it, and especially in this transitionary period. So thanks to them. And of course, you've been watching and listening to Wake Up Call on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /wakeupcalldt. And you've been with us on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, which is live internet streaming radio all around the world. So definitely appreciate and thank you all for watching and listening Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets life. And beyond that, of course, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Make sure that you subscribe and follow us on these channels so that not only you find us once, but you'll continue to find us throughout history. And a big time thanks to our incredible partners in Central and Upstate New York: Heritage Hill Brewhouse, Heritage Hill North, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Avicoli's, Brian's Landing, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, and they will be at the New York State Fair with multiple locations. Excited for that. GG Cards and Breaks, our sports card place of choice. Our trade night is going to be this Thursday, August 15th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. We'll see you at the store on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. GG Cards and Breaks trade night this Thursday, August 15th. Pizza Man, Mother's Cupboard, Great Lakes Honda City, Servomation, refreshments, reimagining, reinvigorating, and just creating their original awesome way of vending at Servomation inside of colleges and so many different businesses and universities. Servomation does an incredible job. I've toured their kitchen. I've seen some of the technical side of it and the technology that they have and the things that they offer. I would have loved to have this in the break room of any place that I worked when I was growing up, and Servomation thankfully has come into our community and throughout the Northeast to provide great experiences for people, far better than what I saw. And so I thank Servomation for all that they're doing to create a really positive and amazing thing, taking away the negatives and the stigma and kind of the beliefs that some people have when it comes to vending, doing things differently and going beyond the extra mile. So thanks to Brian Bruno and his team for that. You can head to Carvel today, Carvel DeWitt, that is Carvel DeWitt specifically, 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It's the only place to get the DT Dolphin. It is my Sunday with an ode to the Lemoyne Dolphins that are right down the street from Carvel DeWitt, just a few minutes away. You can go there and get the mint chocolate chip green for the Dolphins, hot fudge, whipped cream, and a cherry, green and gold sprinkles for Lemoyne, and a chocolate dolphin jumping out of your whipped cream. They are available every day at Carvel DeWitt, and it's buy one, get one on Wednesdays like today. So if you go and bring a friend or you go on a date, don't tell them if it's the first date. Don't tell them it's buy one, get one. Just walk up and be like, yeah, I want 2 sundaes. I'm a high roller. So go out there with friends, family, coworkers, colleagues, a date, whoever, and get a buy one, get one DT Dolphin every Wednesday. They are available every day, but you can get 2 for the price of 1 today and every Wednesday. So make sure you go out to Carvel DeWitt, specifically on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. Thank you to everyone that has. And at Mother's Cupboard, you can get my spin on the breakfast sandwich, exclusively available at Mother's Cupboard on 3709 James Street in Syracuse. That sandwich is bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Cut it up and have it with syrup. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. I call it the Cuse Mac Mother, and you have called it one of your favorite things to get at Mother's Cupboard. So thank you beyond thank you, and I look forward to you going and getting another one today or trying it for the first time. I also want to thank our incredible North Carolinian partner, and that is our Southern Pines location of the Brooklyn Pickle on 1788 Old Morganton Road. We've worked with them for just a few days, and I am super excited. Brooklyn Pickle's been great on social media with us, and I mean, everybody knows how great the food is, and you can go and get yours today. 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina, just a few minutes from Pinehurst Golf Courses, which you know are some of the best, if not the best in America. And you can definitely go and golf and have a great time, and at the same time make sure you're eating well before you go golfing or after you're golfing, or both. You know, there's nothing wrong with going to Brooklyn Pickle and bookend it with a sandwich before and a sandwich after over at 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Moyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Your Dolphins come to you Wednesdays during Dolphin Time, which is Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. The Dolphins are hanging out with you every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, telling stories across the year, I should say, with student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. We are firmly in year 4 of our partnership, and I am very grateful for that. Thankful to Bob Beretta, thankful to Mike Lindbergh, thankful to the entire team over there, the athletic communications department that have helped in making sure we're telling these stories and telling them throughout the year in a beautiful way. Of course, a big time thanks to the head coaches, to the student athletes. Many, many thanks to President Linda Lemura and so on and so forth, Pete DeLora and the board. And can't thank them enough for their kind words over the years. So with that being said, you can find the Dolphins by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. And of course, you'll find the Moyne playlist. You'll also find the Dolphins on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage underneath the exclusive partners tab. And for more information, you can go to LeMoyneDolphins.com, and you, as well as I know, very, very much so, starting tomorrow with the women's soccer game on the pitch, Thursday, August 15th at 3 p.m. I'll be out there for it. I hope you will, and I hope you will do what we always do when we greet each other and say these 2 words that mean so very much and always come with an exclamation point at the end of it: Fins Up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find your Bobcats every single month on Wake Up Call throughout the year: men's and women's basketball, men's and women's soccer, as well as baseball and esports. The wonderful student athletes, coaches, and administration coming to you in what we call the Bobcat Buzz, telling the story of Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, which is different, unique. You can be a little bit older if you still have eligibility and play on their sports teams. You can also come back and finish your degree, get a degree, change your degree. Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse has 2 wonderful campuses that are located in areas with a lot of traffic, so you can get right over to them on James Street in Syracuse. You can also get to them right off of Route 57 in Liverpool, across from Avocoles. They have awesome job placement and great opportunities for you. So Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, I love telling their stories. I love bringing you the Bobcat Buzz. I've met some very good hearts and tremendous people that love up our future of this country and beyond. And they're gems in our community. So make sure you go and check out their stories. Go to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. Look for the BSC Syracuse playlist. You'll also find them on wakeupcalldt.com underneath the exclusive partners tab and on the homepage. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find Binghamton every single Tuesday during Bearcat Time, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time worldwide. We feature stories that include what we call Moments with Marshall, which is a background look at Binghamton University with Athletics Director Gene Marshall and his leadership, as well as the Bearcat Break Room with student athletes, coaches, and administration. We just had Ed Foley on for an extremely wonderful conversation with a great person, and I would definitely implore you to go back and check it out. We're going to be airing it as its own special as well. All of the content with Binghamton is on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find the Binghamton playlist. You'll also find the Bearcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to bubearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, thank you to Jaro Zawislan, the head coach of the Moyne Dolphins women's soccer team. I'm going to tell you one more time, Thursday, August 15th. Can't say it enough. I love going out to their games. Really, really proud of this team. Excited for their season. Can't believe we're already in year 2 in the reclassification to Division 1. Awesome history by them, with Moyne as a fully fledged D1 institution for the first time ever. The Moyne women's soccer team brought them their first win as a fully fledged D1 institution, and their first win also in that game at Niagara, their first win as a D1 program individually for women's soccer at Moyne on the Heights. So come out and see them in Syracuse, New York, right off of Erie Boulevard this Thursday, August 15th at 3 p.m. It's their season opener, their home opener. They have a ton of home matches coming up, especially early on this season. I'm ecstatic about that. They went on the road last year for a lot, so now the return of the favor is here. The University of Maine is coming to town, so thank you to Jaro Zawislan. And you could go and listen to this back by going to any of our social media platforms. You'll see it. And you can also search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on all of our channels: Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, as well as Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT, for my conversation with Jaro to listen to it back. We talked about a ton of things, so you don't want to miss it. And that also allows you to share it with your family, friends, coworkers, colleagues, and so on and so forth. Big time thanks to the American Athletic Conference, Tim Pernetti, Chuck Sullivan, and everyone as always. Thank you to the student athletes of Temple, FAU, ECU, and UTSA for joining me, as well as the student athletes across the American in general. I hope you have a wonderful day. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, and as we always tell you here on the show, God bless, no stress. Do your best. Take care of yourself and be good to each other.